science, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Ever look at your house and think, ouch, it's stuck in the past? Or realize that your kitchen needs a new everything? Like thousands of homeowners, you can simply call SprayNet Lincoln. Their patented spray system and paint delivers a flawless factory finish. No mess, done in a day, and cost-effective. It looks just like new, including your vinyl. And it's all backed by their 15-year no-peel warranty. SprayNet Lincoln, custom chemistry and smarter painting. Google SprayNet Lincoln or call them now at 402-383-3336 or email ching@spray-net.com.
The friends out at CJ's Paintball Park and Airsoft would like to take this time out to thank our first responders, doctors, nurses, and the healthcare professionals who put their lives in harm's way for our protection. Blood donation centers need people to donate blood. Be a silent hero and donate blood today. It will help accident victims, surgery patients, sick children, and members of our military. This message is from CJ's Paintball Park and Airsoft. CJ's Paintball Park and Adventures.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, owner of A1 Automotive. I want to personally thank you, our customers, for trusting us with your vehicle repair needs. Your support allows us to do what we love, serving people through quality automotive repair. If you're looking for a repair shop that values relationships as much as repairs, we'd love the opportunity to earn your trust. We have 2 locations here in Lincoln, 1117 L Street, 5110 State Hill Drive, and our newest location in Seward, Nebraska, 408 Main Street. Come see us, visit us online at a1autolincoln.com.
Time for a new AC? Call Bryant. Get rebates now and lower operating costs every day. For comfort and efficiency, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
And the West Beach for comeback athlete of the year is Rudy Gres.
How about that? 3 hits for Rudy Gres at DH.
The headlines, they can lie. The scoreboard, it can mislead. But Rudy, whether you like it or not, will keep it real. Get your dose of reality during Real Talk with Rudy Gres the Fourth on 93.7 The Ticket.
That is right. Welcome back. Another Friday night here. Was supposed to go 7 to 10. We got bumped up, and I'm not complaining about it. Always a great time here. As per usual, again, it is a great Friday here at The Ticket. A lot we'll get into. As you can read from the title, we got the Jayden Daniels drama, of course, we're going to get into. MLB Field of Dreams game was last night. And we'll talk more about that, obviously. Was it last night? Yes, it was. We'll talk more about that. And then, of course, NFL preseason. We'll get into all the fun stuff here. But the Rudy weather report will be getting started off, as always. Started off pretty rainy this morning. Unfortunately, not an ideal morning. I'm someone who is not a fan of the humidity. So once that rain went away, sun came out, I went right back inside. That's just me. But other than that, of course, nothing to complain about. Before we get into anything sports related here, wanted to take a quick minute. And if you're watching on the YouTube, Facebook, anywhere you can see the live stream here, we do have our very own, trying to get it without the glare here. You see it. Here at 93.7 The Ticket, and for those who were not able to be watching, I am holding up our plaque for Radio Station of the Year. We once again, back-to-back years of being a finalist for the award, top 3 in the entire state, across all, not just, of course, sports talk or anything like that, but as an entire radio station, top 3 once again in the state. Could not be more proud, not just of what I've been able to do here, but obviously everybody who's worked with us here. whether that is the talent, whether that's the producers, the interns, whoever it is, wherever it is, we've said it over and over here at the station that we're doing big things with a small group here. And yesterday it got brought up a lot here at the ticket where we're just in other people's eyes, we're the small fishes here and all this and that, but we've done so much. We're doing so much. We have so much planned for you guys. And again, it's not really possible without any of you. And Nikki chimes in here. Shout out 93.7 The Ticket from San Antonio. Nikki, as always, thank you for tuning in. And like that, it's fun having not just us here who can be able to appreciate that, but again, it's literally impossible without you guys. So huge thank you to everybody who tunes in, whether you got the best of the best to say, whether we got some comments to address, whatever the case may be on any given day. Thank you guys. And again, it's been a good time here because yes, we don't do it for the awards, but if there's an award to be given, we will gladly appreciate, gladly accept. And of course, this is not with all due respect, is this where we want to finish? Not necessarily, but we will take another top 3 finish, put it on the belt next year, aiming for that number 1 spot. That's just the competitor in us here at the ticket. With that being said, now we will get into some more of this Jayden Daniels talk here. Because for those who don't know, Jayden Daniels, obviously, your quarterback for the Washington Commanders up there, has obviously entering his 3rd year now, a quarterback with a lot of promise, a quarterback with a lot of skills and things to throw under the belt there to kind of boost the resume, of course. But we dated back to his days in the purple and gold, the days of being the Tigers down there. And of course, we get the Heisman in the process, a 9-3 season on the year. Now, the issues come to arise because a couple days ago, 2 days ago, I believe to be exact, Jayden Daniels and his family and the camp around him ends up sending a cease and desist letter to LSU, all truly pertaining to the mere fact that LSU allowed another player to wear that number 5. That's Cinco, and it's ruffled the feathers. Now, do I want to have my standpoint on it. I want to have the truth of it all. I want my real talk to be real spoke. I think it is probably one of the most overdramatic things we're going to see. Because yes, I'm someone who over the time of my life has been an athlete. I understand the importance of a number. It's not just some number you end up wearing. I understand sometimes for a lot of these players, including myself growing up, these numbers have some identity of their own. I completely get it. There's a reason some guys are attached to numbers. There's a reason you see when players get traded to other teams that they're willing to pay a pretty penny to have the jersey they want. It's a commonality amongst these athletes at pretty much any level to where you get a certain number, it has its own identity with you. And I'm someone who I was always rocking 21 growing up for a multitude of reasons. I get to college, 21's not available, had the option out there, got a different number in there. Again, a number I'm cool with, another number I had fun with, number 34. But there's numbers that can tie to players, and I get that. But you won a Heisman. You were 9-3. I think, yes, great season. Absolutely. It was a fun Heisman race. It was in the mix there. I think when you're looking at the resume of it all, he was there for a singular year following his transfer. And I just don't think that there's enough for me to say that's a warranted issue. And again, DJ Pickett, sophomore now for LSU, they said that in the recruiting process that was kind of promised to him that he would get to wear number 5. And Lane Kiffin, obviously the Tigers are under a new coaching system, a new coach in general there. And he said it. That's the recruiting promise. And it didn't look like Lane Kiffin was fighting for it. It didn't look like he was fighting against it, obviously, because these are his players. But even he understood it's one of those things that it comes with the territory of recruiting these players and things that go into that. So I understand his standpoint. I'm trying to my biggest thing is just when it comes to Jayden Daniels, man, you got so much on your plate already. Go be the quarterback for the Commanders. Go worry about that. the number, unless the number was specifically and boldly said, hey, we are retiring this number for good. You have our word, and the coaching was remained the same, then yeah, I'd be livid as well. But to just appreciate the season you had, to have that honor, to understand that you're in an elite number of Heisman winners, I just think that you're getting in a little bit over your head here. And again, if you want to chime in, you got opinions, you got questions, comments, concerns about this, 402-464-5685. Should LSU have retired it? I don't think so. I think Heisman winners will obviously hold weight and hold stature, but you're also at a school that just had, not just, but a couple years prior had Joe Burrow do similar in Heisman winnings, more in record winnings. And of course, you got the championship to brag about it and the championship to bring it home. You don't have that, Daniels. You don't have that. You don't have the cherry on top. And that's kind of where the issue kind of comes in for me, is you didn't have the exact resume of a Burrow to argue like you are a Burrow. Now, if I go out there and I see another number 9 playing quarterback or something, yeah, it's going to look off. It's going to look weird. But I also think at the same point, from what I've read, there was another player wearing number 5 who happened to be on defense that year. Jayden Daniels won the Heisman. So necessarily, is it your number either? Who knows? I mean, he's a defensive player wearing number 5. I think, yeah, get over it. We got a text in here, Swift from Lincoln. How you doing, obviously? Hope you're having a great Friday. I feel like it's a petty move by Daniels, and I agree. And I that kind of leads me into my next point, too, is this going to kind of be the norm from, not norm in terms of we're going to see players who go out of their way to just argue about collegiate numbers and things, but in the era now of NIL, where these players are no longer playing for the team on the front of the jersey, more so the last name on the back of it, more so who can pay me the most, when the personalities start getting amplified and you, for a lack of better words, kind of get surrounded by yes men in the process. And we've seen his family kind of not be an issue, but we've seen the Daniels family kind of have hands on too much, in my opinion. We've seen that they're trying to control things that maybe not shouldn't be controlled, but just let it be like that. Like no one's gonna complain. I again, I go back to Jayden Daniels, go be the quarterback for the Commanders. Go do what is on your plate. Because if all this comes to light like it is, and okay, you're upset. Okay, you have your standpoint. Okay, I get it. Okay, have your argument. That's one thing. But to be petty about it is one thing, and to still care about it is another. Like, it shouldn't weigh as heavy as it did, and I believe there's rumblings now that they're asking LSU to return the replica of the Heisman Trophy that was gifted and given to the university as well. And I think it's crazy because it's all going back to honoring the legacy and who's able to hold the legacy, because now for the season desist and everything involved with that, you're kind of getting into the realm of, okay, well, is it with the NIL? Who owns that? Who owns the name, image, and likeness? And again, it goes back to Jayden Daniels and what he's created and all this and that. But I think for a quarterback of his stature, who also, again, yes, you won the Heisman, but there was a lot left on that table, a lot left for you to accomplish. Why hasn't it dawned on you that maybe that's another reason that the number's not retired? I want to say that LSU, and I want to say that Lane Kiffin, and I want to say DJ Pickett, I assume they're in the right. I'm not going to lie. I think, yes, I understand why Jayden Daniels as a person would be upset. I understand why he's not thrilled. I understand all those things. Because, again, when I think, and that we're on different statures here, don't worry, Jayden Daniels, not comparing my high school career to what a Heisman winner did. But, again, very successful high school career I had for baseball. I'm actually being inducted into my school district's Hall of Honor, Hall of Fame this coming January. If I see somebody else wearing a number 21 on that Southwest Legacy High School baseball team down in San Antonio, Texas, is it gonna be weird to see? Yeah, possibly. But at the end of the day, that is not my worry anymore. My worry is exactly where it needs to be, and that's the focus of where I'm at now, the focus of what is going on, again, at this exact moment. And I think that's the issue we're going to run into for a guy like Jayden Daniels, who isn't coming off the best second year he could have had. Yes, the injuries were in the mix of all that. And we got Nikki who says, I'm on LSU side. I agree. I think they're handling it properly. Exactly. You have bigger fish to fry now. Why is a singular digit? Again, and we run into the retiring of jersey number issues too often, I think. I think you think of the Yankees. The Yankees are running out of numbers to give these players. I don't think there's many single-digit numbers in that Yankee system that can be worn. And I think for a sport like college football that can have 80 to 90 plus on a roster, hey, there's going to be some numbers that just possibly cannot be retired because then we're going to get into the instance of, well, we're out of numbers. And I think that's something that, again, needs to be talked about, needs to be harped on. And I think to go back to my NIL point, I think the NIL is just creating divas of these athletes who are trying to, again, the ego is going to be the ego. You're a starting quarterback. You're the Heisman player. I get it. And then we get another great point here that I was thinking of as I said it too. But again, great point here from unknown texter 6785. Again, hope you're having a great Friday. What if that player wanted to play with your number and honor your legacy? I think that's a true possible point. I think that's a great thing. I think that's something that, yes, go wear the jersey. Go do what you got to do. And I'm perfectly cool with that. I think that's another thing is like, it's not a form. I think that's where Jayden Daniels is kind of off on being wrong here more than anything. I think him and his family and his team and his camp, whatever you want to call it, I think they're taking it as a form of disrespect by the university, which, okay, to your own extent, I can understand your semi point you're trying to make here. But at the end of the day, take it for what it is. Somebody is wearing that 5. Okay, cool. Is that legacy of DJ Pickett probably going to pass the legacy of what Daniels was able to do for that LSU team? Probably not. And that's okay. And if he does go out there and becomes one of the greatest defensive backs we've ever seen, even better. But yeah, take it for what it is. Someone's honoring that number. You know what's been worn in that 5, and that's okay. But it's not always just this form of disrespect that I think that the team around him has tried to create for himself. And I don't like how that's the image that's being portrayed by DJ Pickett. I don't like how that's the image being portrayed by LSU, at least from Jayden Daniels and his family side of things. It's a lot of this self-victimizing that I'm seeing. And it's just, again, I think a large part of it comes from NIL because now we're seeing players who feel like they're owed something, who feel like, oh, well, I did this. I deserve to have my number in the rafters. And again, you won a Heisman. You were the best collegiate football player for that year. Amazing. But you were 9-3. You didn't bring them a championship. You didn't bring them to the playoffs. You didn't do much more. And it's not to even belittle the season that was had because, again, a great season, Heisman winner. But, like, you didn't do everything that you probably could have that season. And I think that's the problem we get into is these players feel like they're owed so much because, hey, you're handing these kids blank checks. You're handing these kids the fame, the fortune. You're handing them to the NFL. It's one just handing over another. And, yes, it's earned, but you get into that realm where I want more and more. And, hey, that's weird that he's wearing my number. I have a cease and desist on the way. Like, that's the problem. I think if he would have came out and the family would have came out and said, yeah, I wish LSU would have handled it different, and we were told that they were going to honor it for his legacy, the number 5, and that it wasn't going to be worn. Okay, then yeah, leave it up to the media. We have a discussion at that point, and then it gets addressed. I think them going straight for the kill off the rip is probably what's going to be the worst taste in people's mouths because you're in the situation now where you kind of put LSU on the defense regardless. You didn't give them a chance to say, well, here's why. And I think that's the problem. You're shooting before you have a reason, and that's what I'm going to remember above all when it comes to this type of situation. You're just assuming that the disrespect was meant to be disrespectful, and at the end of the day, it's a jersey number. Go wear your jersey number in Washington. Go win some games for the Commanders. Leave LSU for LSU, and it is what it is. You showed what that team and that year and that stadium and the fan base, you showed them what you had to give for that singular year. You were there for 1 year. Now, if you were a lifer, if you were a 4-year commit there, okay, we have a different conversation. You have a different legacy to uphold. But right now, you're a Heisman winner who's a transfer coming in for 1 year. Again, a lot to be respected. I will always respect his LSU season he had there. It was fun to watch. Again, paired up with amazing wide receivers, just had fun out there. It looked, but this is not. Again, it's not a big potato problem. Worry about winning a Super Bowl. Worry about taking the Commanders back to glory. We'll get to one more text on here before we send things to the break here. Railroader Matt tunes in. Again, hope you're having a great Friday, Matt. How long before we start seeing leagues allowing 3-digit numbers? Honestly, who knows? I think, again, going back to the Yankees, that's always something that makes me laugh. Is like you're going to run out of numbers because that 99 is getting retired. We know that. We know that some of these numbers that, again, the Babe Ruth is retired. The 7 is retired. You have so many numbers in that Yankee system that are just retired. If we start retiring everybody who wins a singular Heisman after 1 year at our university, it doesn't hold the weight. Again, I think Joe Burrow, I think that's a number that should be retired. National championship, one of the greatest teams ever. But, and again, the Heisman. But again, is it retired? No. Are people going to wear 9? Probably not. But that's something that you, again, I think the diva problem of it all is it's kind of double-sided here because you have the diva-ness of it all with Jayden Daniels being petty and going about it. But then you also have DJ Pickett, who wore a different number last year, understands there's a new coaching staff coming in. Hey, can I get that number now? And I think that's perfectly fine. Lane Kiffin owes not a single thing to Jayden Daniels. Doesn't owe a thing to his family. Yes, he is the LSU coach. Yes, he is the man in charge. Yes, he is able to say, no, we're going to honor that number. But at the end of the day, this is Lane Kiffin's team. We know Lane Kiffin can run things how he wants to run things. And I think, again, it's not the biggest issue. And you see it, again, going back to the honoring the number, Nikki brings up a great point here. The Cowboys do it with that number 88 to the best wide receiver every year. And I believe there's a Michael Irvin video that you can find, and he says, if I were to retire it, it would obviously, the number would be in the rafters, but you don't talk about him anymore. It's not brought up anymore. And you get the CeeDee Lamb, you get the Des Bryant, who every time that 88 gets brought up, you know who it's getting circled back to. That legacy is being honored every time that jersey number is on that field. And again, you can look at it one way or another, but when it comes to someone of an ideology like that, and when it comes from a point like that the Michael Irvin was trying to make, I agree with that more than I agree with, hey, throw it in the rafters, never see it again. And again, it was 1 year, a great year, a Heisman year. I'm not going to ever take it back. I'm not going to say that I could go out there and win a Heisman because I can't. But at the end of the day, I think this is being overplayed from the family and Jayden Daniels. And I don't think I'm really going to go back on that. I think maybe, sure, if we can find some promising texts where they said we're going to retire it, okay, but honoring it's different. New coaching staff, you got to read the room. You really have to read the room when it comes to the situation if you're Jayden Daniels and the family. But again, you got a season starting in a couple weeks here. Who cares what 19, 20-year-old is wearing your jersey number come Saturdays? Go worry about winning on Sundays, and then we'll have a discussion. With that being said, we will be taking our first break here. When we get back, we got some college football talk. Obviously, we'll keep it on par for where we've been. There's some teams I want to get into, some teams that maybe seem a little overrated right now, underrated, some names to watch out for. We'll get to it all when we get back. Again, this is Real Talk with Rudy Gres IV, live here at 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs, quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside's margaritas and old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Ever look at your house and think, ouch, it's stuck in the past? Or realize that your kitchen needs a new everything? Like thousands of homeowners, you can simply call SprayNet Lincoln. Their patented spray system and paint delivers a flawless factory finish. No mess, done in a day, and cost-effective. It looks just like new, including your vinyl. And it's all backed by their 15-year no-peel warranty. SprayNet Lincoln, custom chemistry and smarter painting. Google SprayNet Lincoln or call them now at 402-383-3336 or email ching@spray-net.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
The friends out at CJ's Paintball Park and Airsoft would like to take this time out to thank our first responders, doctors, nurses, and the healthcare professionals who put their lives in harm's way for our protection. Blood donation centers need people to donate blood. Be a silent hero and donate blood today. It will help accident victims, surgery patients, sick children, and members of our military. This message is from CJ's Paintball Park and Airsoft. CJ's Paintball Park and Adventures.
Guys, if you're dealing with low back pain or trouble urinating, don't just live with it. These could be signs of treatable conditions. At Advanced Medical Imaging, their interventional radiologists specialize in minimally invasive procedures designed to relieve symptoms and improve your quality of life without major surgery. June is Men's Health Month. Take the step. Call Advanced Medical Imaging today to schedule a consult and find out what AMI can do for you.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Play ball! Some places just feel like home. In Lincoln, that place is Haymarket Park. For 25 seasons, it's where we gather with friends, with family, and our out-of-towners who want that same warm welcome. It's where kids catch their first foul ball, where we're all neighbors for at least 9 innings. Because when Salt Dogs fans root for our home team, there isn't a single stranger in the stands. So come one, come all, and let your local tradition play on. Get your tickets at saltdogs.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
The Friends with Camplin Bird Legal Group here in Lincoln would like to take this time out to thank our first responders, doctors, nurses, and the healthcare professionals who put their lives in harm's way for our protection. Blood donation centers need people to donate blood. Be a silent hero and donate blood today. It will help accident victims, surgery patients, sick children, and members of our military. This message is from Camplin Bird Legal Group here in Lincoln. Let's stay united and keep America safe and strong.
At the Nebraska State Fair, you never know what you'll experience. Maybe it's watching your kid fall in love with a baby goat. Maybe it's that first bite of something deep fried and incredible. Maybe it's the moment everyone puts their phone down because core memories are forming right in front of them. It all happens here at the Nebraska State Fair, August 28th through September 7th in Grand Island. Visit statefair.org.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Reality is setting in. Now back to Real Talk with Rudy Gres IV on 93.7 The Ticket.
That is right. Welcome back. Real Talk with Rudy Gres IV here, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Before we got to the break, obviously we were talking Jayden Daniels. We were talking a lot of the number fiasco. Because it's an interesting situation. I think college football, we've gotten into a lot of interesting situations as the season's rolled on. I mean, you think back Texas Tech, you think of all those interesting times. You think of Trinidad Chambliss kind of bringing in the lawyers to basically grant an extra year. Gets approved. We got Chambliss football. But going into more of the season, I was thinking, obviously we're a couple weeks now. September 5th is our official mainstay of weeks of football. And after that, we enter the greatest time of the year. Because you think about it, you got NFL, you got college football, you got, of course, the World Series is ramping up. And you're just at a great time. Obviously, I know I'm missing some. NBA kicks off. But I got to thinking, the season's right around the corner. And I have some questions here that I wrote down. I'll answer some. If you got any answers you want to chime in with, of course, as always, 402-464-5685. That's the Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. Text in, Let me know what some teams maybe cross your mind. Maybe we got the same thoughts. Maybe we're completely different. Maybe we can prove each other wrong. Who knows? But obviously, my main question here: some national championship contenders, and it's hard to not put Indiana back in that category. I think in the preseason coaches poll, in the preseason poll going into this, I believe they're ranked around the 7th point, which I think is a fair point to put them because you think about it, it's not really the players that kind of make Indiana. Yes, Mendoza doesn't win a Heisman if he's not there. Yes, the national championship, and I don't want it to make it sound like I'm assuming that Curt Cignetti can just turn around every single player and make them college football legends. But this year, he's also getting Josh Hoover, who quarterback from TCU. I really like the way his play style was last year. I like everything he did for the Horned Frogs down in Fort Worth, Texas. And now I think he has more talent than Mendoza did coming in. And it's just I'm excited to see how they can compete because they're not coming in like a national championship team probably would. Yes, they have the donors that have ramped it up. Yes, you have Curt Cignetti, who is kind of proving that he is going to be entering some meaningful conversations about where he stands all time soon, if it can stay there. But we got Yoltz on the YouTube comment line. Yoltz, by the way, Duncan will be tuning in from 7 to 9 if you want to talk some baseball once we get into there. But Yoltz comments in, the fall off of Indiana will be studied. I don't know if I can get on board with that. I think for a team like Indiana that is so structurally and wellly coached, I don't know if I can see the fall off coming up yet. I don't know. I know you see that award, Yoltz. Thanks for shouting that out, of course. Radio Station of the Year finalist. Again, gave a quick shout at the beginning. But yeah, it's great where this is back-to-back years now, and I've been here for both. The goal is to win that number 1 spot. Speaking of winning number 1 spots, you think of Indiana football. You think of the championship there, and I think it's interesting because coming into the season now, they're a team that kind of, yes, national championships, but they're not really, I don't think the respect is kind of there for the team. I think, yeah, it's there for Curt Cignetti, but for a team like Indiana and their structure they're going to have, I think you have to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I don't think anyone's necessarily not doing that. But I think when you think about it, yeah, they're going to have a lot of holes to fill. Yeah, you think of their go-to wide receivers gone. Yeah, you think that Mendoza's gone, obviously. But you're also in a situation now where a lot of players are going to want to play football in Indiana. And I think that's going to only make them better. Because, yes, the first 2 years, it was, okay, he's got to build it. Okay, yes, he came from James Madison. Okay, he was a winner. We all saw the quote, Google me. I just don't know what situation can get much better. Like you're winning. You're at a school that you're getting boatloads of donors now. I mean, one of the biggest. And they're just going to keep pumping that train. Just keep it going. We got Max Brammeyer commenting in response to Yoltz here. I think I want to see where this goes. Max says, whoa. What could be the signs of a potential fall off? I agree with you, Max. I don't know what could be the signs of that. I want to see them. That's a team, again, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. But there are some teams I think coming into this season outside of the national championship contenders, like the names off the top of my head that could be in that national championship picture. I think, of course, you got to go Indiana just with how well they're coached and everything. Then you got to go Oregon. I think Oregon's a team that I'm buying pretty highly in terms of the Big Ten. I think I'm also going to go SEC here. I'm going to be honest. There's a team I'm going to say I'm selling in here later that might not ruffle some feathers, but might have some questions there. I'm sorry. I think the Longhorns might be up there. I think they're a team that's only getting better as well. I think you can't leave Georgia out the picture. Another well-coached team that can get the best of the best in the Southeastern Conference. Outside of that, do I think Notre Dame can make a push? Maybe. But those are my teams that probably stand alone towards the top more than others. I don't know. We got an unknown texture here, 4424. As always, hope you're having a good Friday here. With that core of players gone, they will struggle. I think Sig is a one and done. Why wasn't Sig a Power 4 coach before? Where would Indiana be without Mark Cuban and his major financial contributions? Yeah, I can understand the questions. I still can. Because, yes, do I think that Curt Cignetti's put himself in the situation and the conversation to say that he's the greatest college coach ever? No, absolutely not. And I don't think he's necessarily in that exact realm of core because, yes, we have the one championship, but we also have the back-to-back college football playoff appearances. And that's my thing. I don't know if I can even say he's a one and done necessarily yet either. I understand it completely, but I think when I'm thinking of it, the year before they lose a lot of their core guys, and again, it also goes back to me thinking that Fernando Mendoza, and we'll talk about him in the third hour if y'all stick around for that as well. Fernando Mendoza is not this quarterback that I think is probably a superstar. I think he's a controlled quarterback who can make the right reads. Like, yes, he's talented. It's not saying he's not, but I think the system of what Curt Cignetti is building there is one that is going to be that is just fully equipped from portal moves. And yes, now you're going to have kids who want to play for a coach like that. I mean, we see it time and time again every couple years or so that there's a program that kind of you're there for just football, and that's going to be Indiana necessarily because let's be real, nobody was really going there beforehand for football. Now you're in that realm, and now you're kind of in the situation where you're going to have just more players that want to play for you. And I don't think that was the problem. I think, yes, that first year, nobody really wanted to go to Indiana. You kind of do things there, make it nice. And then you get Fernando Mendoza, a quarterback from Cal, who, again, he's not the elite of the elite. He wasn't a top portal pickup. It wasn't anything that people were losing their minds over. Transform that, make him into a system quarterback in Indiana is how I really want to describe it. And I think he can do that with other quarterbacks. That's the thing is I think what he's doing there, what Curt Cignetti has done in Indiana, I think it can be replicated. I really do. I think that there is a world right now, and again, I go back to Josh Hoover just being a one-for-one better quarterback. I think in terms of the ability he has, I think Mendoza's heart's a little different. I think he's a dog that you can get a lot out of, even without the skills that jump off the page. But I think he's great. I think Josh Hoover is going to be a guy that opens up the game a lot more for Curt Cignetti, and hopefully that's the case. Again, I know when they come to Lincoln, I hope that's not the case. But you get what I'm getting at. We got Yoltz in the comment line. 2 comments from Yoltz here, and we got one from Max as well. We're going to talk about all these teams. Ohio State isn't being talked about. Adding a 5-star wide receiver this winter. Yoltz chimes in. Oregon could finally get their first, I think. And Yoltz, I believe, is referring to Fernando Mendoza here, saying he's the next Will Levis. I won't go that far because Will Levis is a standard that I would not wish on anybody right now. We will have, again, Duncan Ortega joining the show shortly here, Titans fan. He could talk all about Will Levis and everything for hours there. I don't know. And here, another comment here on the text line here. They have a 441 all-time win percentage. How did Sig win a championship at that school with the lowest win percentage of any Power 4 school? I find it hard to believe is all. I think, in my mind, and it goes back to a quote he said when they were at Happy Valley playing Penn State. They said, Coach, Indiana's never won here, I believe is what they were referring to. And he says, he looks at the reporter, Curt Cignetti simply says, this team has never played here. Like, this team hasn't lost here. And I think that's how my mindset about Indiana's kind of been. Yes, I know it's one of the most losing-ist programs in college football. That was the kind of the whole narrative around them winning last year, obviously, was the revamp. But I can't fault him for the loss percentage or the win percentage at that point. I can only, again, give him the benefit of the doubt of what he's been able to do. And that's kind of my stance on him is, yes, that first year they had a great regular season. You get into the playoffs, it's a little different of a story. And then, again, we saw him post that picture of the list and how he wanted to revamp everything, and he goes out there and he does it. Again, the first 16-0 season in college football, national championship, Heisman winner. Do I think it's a lot to live up to, and do I think that asking of a back-to-back national championship is a little far-fetched? Probably, possibly. But I think that's a team that, in the same sense when it comes to Georgia, I'm not comparing them to Georgia. I'm not comparing them to Kirby Smart. But when it comes to Georgia, there's been national championships that get won with quarterbacks that I don't necessarily think are the most superstar-ish. They have guys that they have built a system, and I think you can do that in college football. You can build system quarterbacks to win games. You don't need an Arch Manning. You don't need a Trinidad Chambliss. You can build a system, and I think that's what Curt Cignetti has done, at least over the last 2 years, so well. And at his time with James Madison, yes, it's been 2 years. Yes, you would hope that can if you're a coach, you would hope that standard of success can remain the same. And we've said it here too. I get what you're saying now. I apologize here on the text line here. No, but how was he able to do it is very questionable. Let me ask, is Sig a good coach pre-NIL? Could Sig be successful at a school like Nebraska? I want to say possibly. Again, I know that's not we try not to do hypotheticals on this show, but I'll when there's a hypothetical to be answered, we're diving in. Do I think he could be successful at a school like Nebraska? I would hope so, because I think what makes Curt Cignetti well as a coach and great as a coach doesn't necessarily come from strictly the players he's recruiting. Mendoza wasn't a hefty paycheck to get in those doors. The wide receivers they had weren't a hefty paycheck. There was a lot of five-year guys that were on that roster. Yes, I know that age was something that was always up there for the team when breaking it down compared to other teams that they were playing. I think the way he goes about business, because I don't think NIL has affected his coaching style necessarily. I think he's a coach that kind of gives you that old school feel of who cares. I mean, we saw at the beginning of the offseason, there was a recruit that they transferred in. Day one gets ripped up of practice because he's wearing the wrong cleats. And I'm not saying that automatically makes you a winning coach and, hey, Rule, go get mad at everybody wearing different colored cleats or anything. But I think there's a standard with coaches like Cignetti that kind of have to be held, regardless of NIL, regardless of who it is. And we're seeing that. He turned Fernando Mendoza into a Heisman winner. And I don't think many coaches could do that, is what I'm trying to get at. Yeah, and Max Breymeyer chimes in here on the YouTube comment line. Was he not successful at JMU? He absolutely was. And I think that's something, too, is that he's won where he's been, and he just won a national championship. It's hard for me to doubt what Indiana is creating. It's hard for me to doubt what they're doing. And that's that's just where I'm at. I want to be proven wrong when it comes to why I think Cignetti's a good coach. I think he can do all the things the right way. I think he's building a good system for these players to strive in and prosper. Because I think college football, you can do that. You can build the guys up. Yes, now he has the money that's going to come in. Yes, he has the Mark Cuban money, and which is not pocket change. So, yeah, I'm sure that's only going to make them even better. But the fact he did it in year one, the fact he did it in year two for a championship, I don't think it's an NIL-driven only approach there. And I think that's what's going to truly separate him. We got one comment here that I'll get to before we get to our break here. Thunder Not Collins chimes in. Why would anybody want an Archie Manning? He is not that good. He's average. I don't want to let my homegrown, born in Texas mindset chime through here. I think Arch Manning's gonna have a bounce back year. All right, guys. That was one of my final points I was gonna get on here before we got to break. I know it might not be fun to hear. They won't play anyways. I think Arch Manning can figure it out. I think towards the end of the year, he's a guy that I was willing to buy more stock in. I think he's talented. I think Texas is also a top 3, top 2 most spent NIL roster. So yeah, that's going to help him too. I think it's interesting. He's a younger quarterback. He's got to just tune it up even more. And again, you pair him with a guy like Cam Coleman, Hollywood, some others in the backfield. It'll be interesting. When we get back, to wrap things up on the college football talk here, I do have some Nebraska questions I want answered, and we'll chime in from the text line as well on here. I have some conference championships that I think maybe be going to some schools. Obviously, time will tell. The teams that I bring up could easily go 7-5, and who knows where we're at by then. But when we get back, we'll talk about some of those teams, talk about some questions I have for this Nebraska football team. And if you feel like answering them, 402-464-5685. This is Real Talk with Rudy Gres IV. We'll be back after this.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Play ball! Some places just feel like home. In Lincoln, that place is Haymarket Park. For 25 seasons, it's where we gather with friends, with family, and our out-of-towners who want that same warm welcome. It's where kids catch their first foul ball, where we're all neighbors for at least 9 innings. Because when Salt Dogs fans root for our home team, there isn't a single stranger in the stands. So come one, come all, and let your local tradition play on. Get your tickets at saltdogs.com.
Looking for the right utility tractor for your acreage? Find it at Landmark Implement. Shop our selection of used John Deere compact tractors from 1 through 5 series with the power and versatility to track mowing, yard work, snow removal, and more. For a limited time, get 2.9% financing for 36 months, followed by 6.2% for 24 months with approved credit. We've got the right fit for your property and your budget. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or visit us online at landmarkimp.com today and experience the Landmark difference.
Ever look at your house and think, ouch, it's stuck in the past? Or realize that your kitchen needs a new everything? Like thousands of homeowners, you can simply call SprayNet Lincoln. Their patented spray system and paint delivers a flawless factory finish. No mess, done in a day, and cost-effective. It looks just like new, including your vinyl. And it's all backed by their 15-year no-peel warranty. SprayNet Lincoln, custom chemistry and smarter painting. Google SprayNet Lincoln or call them now at 402-383-3336 or email ching@spray-net.com.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com. Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Here's your updated 93.7 The Ticket forecast, sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical. Daytime highs approaching 88 this afternoon under overcast skies with a slight chance of thunderstorms. Southeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight, slight chance of rain showers. Lows dip down to about 71. That's your updated forecast on Lincoln's home for the Kansas City Royals. 93.7 The Ticket. I'm meteorologist Kara Foster. Currently 78.
You started your business to build something special. Now it's time to grow and protect it. At Pinnacle Bank, our treasury management services help you do just that. Through smarter payment technology, account administration, and fraud protection. So no matter the size of your business, you can get the most out of your financial operations. Request your free consultation at pinbank.com/consult. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
At the Nebraska State Fair, you never know what you'll experience. Maybe it's watching your kid fall in love with a baby goat. Maybe it's that first bite of something deep-fried and incredible. Maybe it's the moment everyone puts their phone down because core memories are forming right in front of them. It all happens here at the Nebraska State Fair, August 28th through September 7th in Grand Island. Visit statefair.org.
Reality is setting in. Now back to Real Talk with Rudy Gres IV on 93.7 The Ticket.
That is right. Welcome back. Real Talk with Rudy Gres the fourth here. 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com, Twitter, Facebook, Allo, wherever you want to find us, you can find us. Before we got back from break here, obviously we were talking Jayden Daniels to start the show, all that fiasco over that number 5 that's going on. And then we got into some college football talk, a lot of Kurt Signetti, a lot of breakdown on that. But there's some teams that I wanted to bring up just super briefly here. Or at least some questions I want answered. Because the question I did have, and we'll stray away from some of the conference championships. We can talk about that on Sunday live here. 4 to 5, I believe, is the plan this weekend because we will have a volleyball postgame. Tune in for that. But there's always, again, we know that narrative around the end of the season here in Nebraska when it comes to football is always one that's tough a tough pill to swallow. But when I'm thinking about this team, there's what I want a storyline or a question or I want an answer to have by October or so, because that's when things will ramp up. That's when it gets a little crazier. Is Anthony Calandria legit? Not in terms of, okay, is he going to go win games? Because I firmly believe so. I think his confidence will carry himself in a way that I think people will have to get a little used to. Not that he's cocky by any means at all, but I think his confidence, we heard the comments. He said, we didn't come here to just win 7 or 8. We came here for the national championship, is basically what he was getting at. And I've said it multiple times when I think about this Nebraska team and just Nebraska football in general over the last couple of years that I've been here. It's hard to be pessimistic. It's hard to be optimistic, but I just want to be realistic about this team because I don't want to look at it from a glass half full or a glass half empty. I just want to look at it as a cup of water when I think of this team. And I think for the Nebraska and the schedule, we've heard the schedule talks pretty often, and we know that there is some there's a tough stretch on there. It's not a question. I just think for this team to show that they can compete, for Calandria to give us 5 good games to start the year, showing me that you can make the right reads, and then go compete your tail off against the Indianas, the Oregons. That's all I want to see. And I've mentioned it on the show before, and I'll mention it again to wrap up the break here. I don't care what the record is at the end of the year. Yes, I want a winning record. Yes, I want this team to be in the college football playoffs. But I really just want to look at this team and be able to say, you know what? And it sounds like a participation trophy comment. I just want them to compete against the big dogs. I want you to beat who you have to beat, win the close games against teams that you can compete with. And then, sure, if Indiana comes to town and Ohio State comes to town and they're looking like world beaters, go out there, give them a run for their money. Do I want us to win? Yes. Is that going to be possible every single time? Who knows? Because we could come into the year where Ohio State maybe looks a little different or Indiana looks a little different. Oregon looks a little different. Now, is that going to be the case? Who knows? Probably not. But I still think for this Nebraska team, what we're hearing about them through the camps, through the practices, even from the players themselves, none of that schedule talk matters. They know what the task at hand is here to do, and that's to win. Because they know we're going to be out there every Saturday. Well, they know we're going to pregame, we're going to postgame. You can come here for the ticket. I promise you we'll be here. But I just want to see this team can show that they can fight. We've seen too often where they can get smacked in the mouth and things just, that's it. You get punched once and man, what a tough day. No, go show that you can kick some tail as well. And that's what I want to see from this team. I want to see this team who can fight. I want to see a team that can truly compete down to the wire when things get tough, show us how tough you can be. And I don't think we've seen that from a full season. Sometimes we haven't even seen it in full games when it comes to these Nebraska teams over the last couple of seasons here. That's what I want. I want a team that can compete. I want a team that can, when Ohio State comes to town, don't give Jeremiah Smith his Heisman moment. Don't give Josh Hoover his Heisman moment. Go out there and show these guys that you deserve to be on the same field with them. And I think this is a team that should be able to rise to the occasion. Again, if they win or lose, that's a different situation. I just want to be able to say that team gave it everything they could going into this and let the chips fall where that may be. With that being said, we'll be wrapping up the first hour here on Real Talk. When we get back, we got some baseball talk to get into. The Field of Dreams game was last night. We now know who will be in the very next one, and it is going to be your Kansas City Royals. We'll talk more about that, get into some MVP talks here and some MLB talks just over the next hour. Then we'll wrap it all up with some NFL preseason, NFL outlook talk on the season. And again, if you feel like you want to chime in, you got some questions, comments, concerns, 402-464-5685, Starter Heyman Jeweler text line. This is Real Talk with Rudy Gres IV, live here at 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
You started your business to build something special. Now it's time to grow and protect it. At Pinnacle Bank, our treasury management services help you do just that. Through smarter payment technology, account administration, and fraud protection. So no matter the size of your business, you can get the most out of your financial operations. Request your free consultation at pinbank.com/consult. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions with pay starting at 23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offer great pay, health, dental, and vision, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Staying healthy and comfortable starts with the air you breathe. If you're noticing more dust, odors, or allergies, it could be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Pure Air starts with cleaner air ducts, pair with enhanced filtration and purifications options, and the difference is amazing. When the air you breathe is clean and fresh, your home smells fresher and your family is healthier. Time for cleaner air in your home? Call Bryant for a free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
And the Westby for comeback athlete of the year is Rudy Gres.
How about that? 3 hits for Rudy Gres at DH.
The headlines, they can lie. The scoreboard, it can mislead. But Rudy, whether you like it or not, will keep it real. Get your dose of reality during Real Talk with Rudy Gres IV on 93.7 The Ticket.
That is right. Welcome back. Real Talk with Rudy Gres fourth here. 93.7 The Ticket. If you're joining in on the stream, joining in anywhere you can see us here, there's two of us now. Not just one in the seat. We are joined by someone who was supposed to join last week. Ended up, if you tuned in last week, I mentioned how not everybody in the world is good at telling time. So we are finally joined by Duncan Ortega. Duncan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good on this fine Friday.
Good. I usually talk about the weather sometimes. What have you thought about the weather today so far? It was a little gloomy this morning. What were your thoughts?
I'm a fan of it. I saw that for the rest of the week it's supposed to rain actually, so it's beautiful.
Nice. No golf.
Yep. No. No golf.
That saves us money.
Yeah,
So
it does.
that's always a good thing. But before we get into some of these talks, it's going to be important to note who you are a fan of when it comes to baseball. Please let the people know.
The Chicago Cubs, baby.
We have a decent amount of Cubs fans that sometimes chime in. A lot of Royals fans, obviously. Again, if you want to be part of the conversation, feel free. 402-464-5685 or the YouTube comment line. Whatever really feeds your needs here works for us. So, Duncan, last night, were you able to catch any of the Field of Dreams game?
No, I was not. I saw highlights though, but I did not tune in live.
Okay. Did you watch the first one that first happened, the White Sox and Yankees one? Do you remember that one?
I do. I remember Tim Anderson going yard. That one was actually a pretty good game, actually.
I feel like they haven't been able to match that again. I think because who had it last? It was the Reds and the
Cubs.
The Reds and the Cubs. Yeah.
That one was kind of mid. I don't even remember who won.
Me neither. I was about to say the exact same thing, and I think that's the problem. I think they're not really growing the game sometimes. Still, I think that's MLB's biggest problem is they're not very good at how to capitalize on some of these things. Because even like me, I know one thing that really stood out for me this year was the home run derby. The home run derby was on Netflix. I think that was I think it was kind of weird. I get it. Netflix is really getting a lot of these sponsorships now, and they have the Christmas game for football was on Netflix. They have a lot of other things they're able to just host and such. But what are your thoughts about that? Streaming services being able to hold the rights to it, a big time game? Because I think the Field of Dreams is a big time game, but it's only on Netflix. You're not reaching the whole audience. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how it is in modern style of television. You don't even, we have YouTube TV, but for majority of the part, NFL season, you got to have, or really any sport, you got to have, like you said, certain streaming platforms. And maybe Monday it's ESPN, Thursdays Prime, Sundays, I'm just talking about football here. Sundays, Peacock and NBC. It's definitely getting more expensive, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's me and Wyman talked about it. Nick Wyman's tuning in as well. He says the weather's great. He said at least he's not a White Sox fan.
Yeah, White Sox fans, we hate him. We all hate him. And
I don't know about hate. If you're a real Sox fan and you're a White Sox fan,
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's
only he hates you guys. Please keep tuning in.
Yep,
but yeah, I mean, I was telling Wyman about this too. I was on late night with Lincoln, late night in Lincoln with Nick Wyman. I was on from 11 to midnight Wednesday night. It was
wow.
Yeah, it was the first time I've done that. I told him maybe I'll do it again, but not very often. It took a lot out of me to be here, but it was great. But I told him I just think even going back to the home run derby, like I said, that's something that I grew up and it was I made sure I was watching almost every home run derby. It was fun. I remember the 2019 Vladimir Guerrero Jr. one. I went to Pizza Hut. It was me, my mom, and my sister, and it was we went to Pizza Hut. We were just watching the home run derby. It's if I want to go somewhere, it's just I gotta hope they got Netflix now if I want to watch the home run derby. Or I know I didn't watch this past home run derby because it wasn't signed into our household, unfortunately, on that day. So I missed the home run derby, but that's okay. I just think that. Those are situations that we just run into, and it's interesting. And we got Max chiming in here. It's got to be the matchup, right? You know what they say about the Phillies Twins. When those teams get together, we throw records out the window. Big matchup. I like that. We just need – I think if there was better teams that, again, I don't care what point of the season it happens. Yes, it's probably corn season. You got to do it later, I guess. But I just wish that there was we had the big time matchups. Give me the Yankees and the Red Sox out there. I think that'd be amazing. The Cubs and whoever the Cubs want to have. Yeah, Cubs and Cardinals, throw them out there. Yep. I don't know. I think that they could do more with it is all. I wished MLB, and I think it's a Rob Manfred problem that they're just kind of weird on how they try to get these things to be scheduled. I firmly believe the All-Star game and the home run derby should be a Friday, Saturday thing. You get the more eyes on there. It's more fun, but I get that would kind of throw the whole schedule off and everything with it being the midweek and all that. But I don't know. I'm big on that. It should be a weekend thing. I'm big on it. Shouldn't be just strictly on Netflix. So that's a big game for them. It's a huge game for baseball fans. It's again, have you ever seen Field of Dreams?
I have not.
Wow. That's unfortunate. But But that's a movie that I remember I grew up watching, and it's something that just like it's one of those ones that I wish more people were able to just watch the movie. But it's like I think it's just it's kind of going to go away because you have guys and kids and gals and such who won't get to experience the entire thing where they can even turn this game on and be like, oh well, what's that about? Let me go watch the movie. Like it's just I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. Again, there's the Phillies and Twins go on last night. Kyle Schwarber hits 2 home runs, leadoff home run. We've kind of gotten our fair share of Kyle Schwarber leadoff home runs over time. Again, I'm sure you saw many in the pinstripes for your Cubs over there.
Yeah.
Do you think he's a Hall of Famer now? I know we had this conversation at the beginning of the season. Where are you at on that now with Kyle Schwarber?
Easily. And by the way, I'm still not over the fact that the Cubs just basically cut him for nothing in the shortened season, and now he's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean he's.
Dude just hits tanks.
I know I made a crazy statement yesterday of where I probably have him ranked all time with DHs, but DH wise, I think he's up there. I think he's top 10 all time DHs pretty easily. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think there's too long of a list when you get to strict DHs, but he's up there.
Yeah, strict DHs, I would agree.
Yeah. I think you got to have the Frank Thomases up there. You got to have the David Ortiz. Edgar Martinez makes the cut for me somewhere in that list. Shohei, I think he's gonna be just a strict DH now, so I'm on that. But did you see that they have announced the 2027 Field of Dreams game?
I did not.
All right. Well, for everyone listening who Royals fans, the Red Sox and the Royals will be in they'll be in the next Field of Dreams game. I one of our very own Jake Sorensen here, he's one of the hosts of our early morning shows here, Early Break. I texted him and I was like, I made a joke about the Royals because they're not having too hot of a season. I said, at least the Royals can probably lose somewhere cool now. But again, hopefully they've turned it around by then. I know they've had some injuries. Hopefully, I mean, Jack Caglione is tearing it up right now. Bobby Witt. I think he's like top 3 in the league in steals right now, stolen bases. So, but I think they're a fun team if they can build around Bobby Witt. Do you think that matchup is probably going to be better than the one we got yesterday? Red Sox Royals.
I don't know. Honestly, I probably won't be tuning in either way, but
That's fair.
I don't know, honestly.
I would hope so. I think the Red Sox are an interesting team. The Red Sox, when I really think about it, like they're not a team with like the biggest superstar names out there. They're a team that can just get hot at the right time. I mean, we've seen that. They've been the hottest team in baseball until they wound up in Toronto this past week, ended up losing 3 out of 4 there. So that was a great weekend for me. I think when you think of like the Midwest and how Kansas City's kind of the team of the Midwest with no professional sports team here, I think it's going to be awesome to see them in Iowa playing again. I know Jake Sorensen will probably be there. I know Nick Wyman wants to be there. It's not necessarily my team in the baking, so I'll probably have to not want to be there as much. But I wish it was. I think when they're able to grow games like this and just do things that are out of the norm, I think it's awesome. Like I even think like the Mexico series, that was a fun one to watch. I mean, that elevation there was crazy. Yeah. I think like I remember that was just home run after home run after home run, and it's great. I'm a fan of that. The London series they had was awesome. Where did the Cubs and the Dodgers play? Do you remember that last year to start the season? Japan.
Yeah.
Okay. At the I think
Tokyo
like
Dome, I think
yeah,
it's called.
I think those are all fun because like obviously the whole country was behind Shohei up there, but
definitely
I mean that's when we got that fluke home run that he was able to be given that day when it bounced off the fence or whatever it was.
Oh wow, you have great memory. I don't even remember that.
Yeah, I do. But with that being said, if there was somewhere that you would like to have a game that hasn't happened yet, whether it's, again, like we've seen the Savannah Bananas play at some football stadiums, what are some venues that you would think that you would want to see a baseball game be played at? Any that come to mind off the top of your head right now?
So it could be anything like
anything
NFL
where
stadium,
any venue, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I don't know. I'd love to see him go back to like an older stadium. Like is Polo Ground still up and running, or is that?
I don't believe so.
No? Okay.
Don't believe so. But they've done that. I know they did a Negro League game a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Or a couple years ago. I think it might have been 2 years now ago. And that was awesome. I mean, Barry Bonds was in attendance. I know he has a lot of deep ties. Just the family lineage for Barry Bonds is pretty crazy. I mean, he's related to Willie Mays.
Yeah.
It's just, and of course his dad played. It's just insane.
I don't know though. It's hard to fit. Like baseball is such an obscure stadium that like you can't fit it in
everywhere.
NFL. Yeah, you can't fit it in. It eliminates NBA, NFL. So it's like I don't know.
I'm gonna go out of the realm of norms here. I like to see a baseball game played at the Coliseum out there, like that. I can't think of the country off the top of the head, But like I want to see them just play it somewhere just insane. And I think that's what they have to do. I think it's cool to see some of that. I mean, we haven't seen it yet. But I mean, I know growing up, and for those who don't know, me and Duncan are both from San Antonio, Texas. Did you ever go to any of the games at the Alamo Dome that were there when they would have like some exhibition games? Did you ever go to any of those?
What I think I went to USA and Mexico soccer game one
Okay,
time.
no, they had a baseball game at the Alamo Dome.
You're talking about,
Yeah.
oh wow. No,
I think the Rangers played there, and I can't think of who else
I do
played
remember
there.
that a couple years back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right, yep.
yeah, and for some reason I never went. My mom and them did not get me tickets, but I remember I had some friends that would go, and I would see pictures like years later, and like I think it goes back to what you're saying about how some of these places just aren't really built for baseball stadiums, and I think that's interesting, obviously, but like some of those seats just can be horrible when it comes to that. They obviously you have the wall in right field that they had was just set up pretty poorly too, but that leads me to my next question here, and I'm thinking like throwback Twins now. Are you a fan of dome stadiums, indoors strictly like that, like AstroTurf type of throwback feels, or are you more of like an outdoor venue person? I know you're a Cubs fan, but throw that out the window.
Personally, I think it just depends. Like if you're in Texas, you'd probably like dome just because, for AC purposes. But normally if it's perfect weather, like not Chicago, I'm going to go outdoors, typical.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at. I think even me just hating the sun and the heat in Texas, that was always the worst part. Again, me and Duncan played baseball together too, back in San Antonio, and those were some hot summers, especially on that turf. So I mean, I've always said it too. I don't care if it would be like indoor, outdoors or not, but I'll always take and I don't mean this to discredit the amazing stadium Nebraska Wesleyan and we just got, but I would take like a 10 out of 10 baseball field over a perfect turf field like any day of the year. And I wish that was the case for us at Wesleyan, that we would have gotten a real field there, but the turf is nice. I mean, I love it there. But last week I did have some questions that I wanted to have you go over, and we'll get through some of those here before we get to the break. What are your top, and again, leave the Cubs off this list.
Okay, I'll try.
Your top 5 stadiums in all of baseball right now.
Okay. I'm going to go Petco.
Okay. Padres.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Giants.
Oracle, nice. We'll talk about them later.
I've never been to the new Yankee Stadium, so I'd like to go there.
Okay.
Boston, I've been there once, but I loved it. Like to go back. And probably I like Colorado, the Rockies. Their stadium's pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I think I've been to any of those. I'm not gonna lie, because I've only been to a couple stadiums. I've been to Wrigley now. I've been to Minute Maid, and I want to say that's it. I think I've only been to those 2 stadiums. Kind of a fraud, but I think like that's the fun part though, is like there's stadiums that I want to go to, and I mean, obviously Rogers Center's up there. I want to go to Toronto and see a game there, and we'll talk about the Blue Jays again later. I want to go. I think it'd be cool, obviously, to go to Fenway. I'd want to go. The Rockies are up there. I don't know if they make my top 5. I'm trying to think just like stadiums that don't really poke out as much, but I think they'd be interesting to go to. I wish I could have gone to the Coliseum when they were still in Oakland, the A's. I think that would have been a cool sight to see. I know that never really got packed there, but it would have been awesome to just see them playing football in such a huge, wide space of areas. Always looked fun. And then, of course, I remember back in the day when it would double as a football field for the Raiders, which is always crazy. Like, it would have been cool to see them like in the midst of that when they ended up crossing over. Not too much October baseball for the A's anyways. But, and then I'll wrap it up here with my final 2. I don't know, like, Max chimes in here. He says Target Field is underrated.
Wow,
I could see that.
I was just gonna say Minnesota.
I could see that.
Good pull, Max.
I could see that. I'm trying to think too, like just stadiums that don't really stand out. Like I don't want to go to Tropicana in Tampa. That one could be on the very bottom of the list.
The White Sox is
I kind of want to go to the White Sox. I'm not gonna lie. I think I could enjoy that. Wouldn't be a top 5 though. Still would not be a top 5.
Camden Yards is that's a
Camden's nice, yeah. Like I'm just thinking like there's more that I wouldn't want to go to.
Okay, I think PNC. I actually really want to go there.
It'd be cool to go to a Pirates game there. Speaking of Paul Skeens, this was also going to be a topic of discussion a couple days ago.
Yeah,
gets yanked a couple of games ago. Doesn't even hit 70 pitches.
Yep,
and he never once topped above anything above 96 miles per hour. What seems to be the question? I know we don't have the solution for that, obviously, and I know there's rumblings that maybe there's an injury that we don't know about. I know his arm angle and his arm slot has changed, like, not too drastically, but I mean, you and I both know any difference is the difference. I think that his arm slot has changed around like 14 to 13 inches.
Oh, wow.
Has gotten a little higher, so he's going a little more over the top. And I think maybe that's not the velo problem, but I think that maybe makes him a little easier to hit because, again, Duncan and I both played college baseball in Nebraska Wesleyan. I think some of the easiest pitchers that we had to face, or at least over time, were the ones who were more over the top. Because, like, if you're coming from, like, a slider angle, like, going across more, I think those are always the hardest guys for me to hit. Going from top to bottom, it's like you're either going to miss high or you're going to miss low. Other than that, like, your slider's not going to break as much. That splinker you're throwing is not going to do much. Like, I don't know. Where are you at on Paul Skeens? Obviously, I don't think he's topped 100 in the last couple of outings he had, but where are you at? I know he started off extremely hot. Obviously, Rookie of the Year, Cy Young, back-to-backs. What are your thoughts so far on the whole Paul Skeens fiasco right now?
I was actually scrolling Twitter a couple of days ago, actually, and some guy tweeted back in, I want to say when he was still at LSU, maybe breaking into his rookie year with the Pirates. He said that the way his mechanics, that he could tell, he tweeted back in, like I said, whenever he was breaking out, so this is before he became who he is now. He was like, his mechanics are not gonna hold up. Like, it's I think it's like something with his arm being like level with his shoulder. It was he compared it to like Greg Maddux, where he's like he really good to come in, but just the way he throws, like it's not going to be sustainable. Yeah. Like it's like he's putting all of his force into his arm, and it's not sustainable. I got to show you that thread later. By the way, it's actually
I think it's just so unfortunate too, because like, I mean, we were having conversations like this guy was truly going to be someone that just, I mean, it seemed like he was going to have the whole world in his hand. I mean, he's one of the best pitchers we've seen just kind of rise up through the ranks so fast. And I also think just in the whole realm of pitching over the last couple of years, and I know Tyler Glasnow was one of the first ones to come out and say it, that when they started getting a lot more strict on the pitching substances being used and everything, I remember Tyler Glasnow said it. He said you're going to see more injuries. You're going to see guys getting hurt, burnt out a lot quicker now. And I mean, sure, maybe some of that was him just advocating for more sticky substances. But, I mean, as soon as like that kind of went out the window, you're seeing a lot more Tommy Johns now. I mean, guys are throwing harder. Your arm's not supposed to be meant to throw 100 miles per hour plus.
Yeah.
But I still think it's just crazy to think about. Like, these guys are just, they're superhuman, but then your body can only do so much. And I think someone that comes up for me pretty often is Hunter Green from the Cincinnati Reds. Another Tommy John surgery, out for another 12 to 18 months. Like, and that's another guy who, again, he's not, I wouldn't say he's Paul Skeens level. I wouldn't say he's too necessarily far off in terms of his skill set. I mean, throwing 100 miles per hour pretty effortlessly, great stuff. It's just he can't stay healthy. That elbow and that arm's always there, and it's insane. And I think you go back to it again, like the pitchers that we didn't really get to see, but we've heard about growing up, like you mentioned, Greg Maddux, and we have a texter here, unknown texter 4424 says Greg Maddux was amazing. He would still be dominant in today's game, and I think that's true. I think we're in like such an era of baseball where it's got to be velocity or bust, or velocity and like home runs. I think are on the same side, where it's like there's still value in guys who can just spot up and dot you up. I think those are, again, for us, I think those are some tough at bats too. Guys who could just basically put the pitch where they want to put it, and then here you are swinging at a sweeper 3 boxes over, it seems. And it's just, I think Greg Maddux would do it. And then, yeah, I mean, the same texter chimes in here. There's no control over power any day anymore. And I agree. I mean, we hear so often, I mean, we've seen it with some of our teammates too. Oh, he hit 90, he hit whatever. But it's like he also would have hit the press box. Like, let's be honest, like this is not a strike. Like, and I think that's just kind of the era we're in now. I mean, have you tuned into any of the Little League World Series games at all, or seen any highlights at all?
Nah, it's on at the gym when I'm there.
Yeah,
but
just background. Yeah, but like, so I was watching a game yesterday, and I was at Wings and Rings with a friend of mine, and we're eating food, and my friend asked me, she says, "Oh, have you been keeping up with the Little League baseball?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have. Like, I've been tuning in. Like, there's a team from Bernie that's made it. Bernie made it to Williamsport. They're out there."
They're still in it though?
Yeah,
Oh,
they won on a technicality from not a technicality. A team got suspended from Oklahoma, so they ended up getting bypassed NCAA or the Little League World Series, and the Little League organization said, yeah, like that's whatever. Like you're not playing. They got suspended. I think it was like some age restriction stuff and things along the way, but so they made a pass there. But and I told her, I was like, it's just crazy. Like 12-year-olds now, like they'd wipe the floor with us when we were 12. Like when I was 12, like I probably had one of the worst swings I could have had. I had, again, this isn't important at all, but I had no drip. Like I tuned into that game yesterday. These kids have like $500 bats. They're wearing batting gloves that we pay $100 for. Got gifted once. Thank you. And then like, again, a kid out there, 12 years old, 10 years old, however old these kids are, wearing like a sleeveless turtleneck, which I would wear for baseball. And I told her, my friend, I was like, that's crazy. These kids are like so just flashy or nothing. Like you like, if you don't have the like cotton candy looking necklace, it's like you're nothing. And it's just crazy to me that that's kind of the way baseball's going, is you got to be the guy doing something or you're doing nothing. And I think it goes into these pitchers too. Like, you don't want to be the guy who's not throwing 100 miles per hour. So you're going to do everything you can. And then, of course, the injuries happen, and there you are. And again, if you can throw 100 miles per hour, I've said it before, if I was a pitcher who could do that, I would do it too. But we do have one texter here that we'll get to before we get to our break here. Unknown texter 1542 says, Skeen's throwing is like Maddox, but the difference is Maddox focused on location more than velo. Maddox was 90 to 92 mile per hour fastball, and it's just as effective as a 101 mile per hour fastball, but is better because of the location. I agree. I mean, I think Brent Rooker from the Oakland A's, the Sacramento, Reno, Vegas A's, whatever you want to call them, I think a couple years ago, he's always someone who's very active on Twitter. I don't know if you've ever seen the Brent Rooker threads.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, and there was one time, I don't know who he was talking to. I think he was talking to actually a former baseball player. I have to find the thread to be confirmed. But he said, like, people often, like, misunderstand that, like, hitting a 95 mile per hour fastball could be way harder than hitting 105 down the middle. He said it like, he's like, I'd much rather face the highest velo down the middle, obviously, because it's down the middle. He's like, but if you can paint like 95 on the corner, like, we're not touching that anyways. Like, and that's the thing. Like, if you can locate, and I said it earlier, like, if you can locate a pitch at just will, obviously not easier said than done. But if that's the case, like, I would take that any day. Because again, the 100 is 100. Guys are going to catch up to that. We saw, I mean, I can say it because you ended up winning the game. We saw Rajai Davis just get to that Aroldis Chapman, and it's like, how are you doing that? Like, at that point in time, it was like, he's the hardest throwing guy in the league. Like, how did you do that? And it's like, the velo is always going to be there. Guys are always going to be able to adjust to it. But I just think it's interesting how velo is kind of king right now. But again, like, there's so many drawbacks to that, including like the injuries we're seeing with Paul Skeens right now.
Yep. Fortunately.
We do have one last comment here. 4424 chiming in again. Thank you. Harder to hit a slider over a two seam. Just saying. I agree. Duncan, before we wrap things up, what pitch gave you the most trouble when you were growing up, or even at Nebraska Wesleyan in your time here the last couple seasons? What pitch was your get out pitch if you're a batter here?
I felt like early on in my freshman sophomore year was definitely the breaking ball in the dirt. But lately it's been the fastball out. I can't touch that. If you could paint 3 fastballs away, I'll tip my cap and I'll go sit down.
That's fair. I think I feel like are you someone who's like your eyes would light up on those high fastballs sometimes?
Yeah, I would also chase that too. I struggled.
See, like, I think that's something I tried to get better at, because as a kid, it was like I couldn't catch up to some of that velo, and those were the pitches I was going for, and it was like, I'm not doing that. Those gave me trouble. Anything that, like, I think I was a good, like, opposite field hitter above all. So, like, fastballs away, sliders away, changeups away. I was pretty good at just sitting on those most of the time, but it was a good mix, because obviously I'm a bigger set dude, and so I think just off of appearance, there's no one who's really going to try to throw anything inside for the fear that I could yank one out. Luckily, they did not know that I didn't have that in my skill set. So those were the pitches that would give me the most trouble, though. They'd leave an accidental inside pitch, and it's like, oh, well, there's a ground ball to shortstop from Rudy Gres the fourth there. But it is what it is. That's baseball. Very hard, very fun. But when we get back, we're going to talk about some, obviously, stadium talks in the mix, but there's been some announcements of where the future All-Star games will be. We'll talk about maybe where some should be, things like that. We'll get on all the stadium talk, all the All-Star game talk, and then we'll wrap it up with some MVP talk, some standing talks. Again, we got a Cubs fan in the building. Yeah. We're going to hear about this MVP race for sure. With that being said, this is Real Talk with Rudy Gres IV, joined by Duncan Ortega. Keep it tuned right here, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Hi, Kendall Warnock here, owner of A1 Automotive. If you own a BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, or Mini, you know specialized service matters. Our team uses advanced diagnostic equipment, OE equipment, including factory-level software, to accurately diagnose and repair your vehicle. Dealer-level capabilities with hometown service. A1 Automotive, 1117 L Street. You can call us 402-477-4660.
You plan everything, the schedules, the meals, the activities. But at the Nebraska State Fair, you don't have to plan a thing. Baby animals, fair food, rides, free entertainment, and 11 days of memories your kids will never forget. You just have to show up. It all happens here at the Nebraska State Fair, August 28th through September 7th in Grand Island. Visit statefair.org.
Staying healthy and comfortable starts with the air you breathe. If you're noticing more dust, odors, or allergies, it could be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Pure Air starts with cleaner air ducts, pair with enhanced filtration and purifications options, and the difference is amazing. When the air you breathe is clean and fresh, your home smells fresher and your family is healthier. Time for cleaner air in your home? Call Bryant for a free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
New from Arbor Axe House comes Benny's Battle Barge, the mobile axe throwing adventure. Perfect for festivals, parties, fundraisers, and celebrations. Charter the barge at arbораxe.com or call Arbor Axe House at 402-802-9696. Arbor Axe House at the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and new Sierra and Silverado trucks continue to roll in, and August is a great time to upgrade. Right now, get new GMC Sierras for under $50,000 or get 2.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,500 bonus cash. Visit us in Louisville or anytime at koppelcars.com. Stock number G306367 with approved credit.
Here's your updated 93.7 The Ticket forecast, sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical. Daytime highs approaching 88 this afternoon under overcast skies with a slight chance of thunderstorms. Southeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight, slight chance of rain showers. Lows dip down to about 71. That's your updated forecast on Lincoln's home for the Kansas City Royals. 93.7 The Ticket. I'm meteorologist Kara Foster. Currently 78.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built upon hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with room for advancement.
Reality is setting in. Now back to Real Talk with Rudy Gres IV on 93.7 The Ticket.
That is right. Welcome back. Real Talk with Rudy Gres IV here at 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Got some quick text here. I want to get on the text line here. Some people tuning in who are saying what's up. We got one from Eric chiming in.
Eric
says, what's up, Rudy? What's up, Dunk? Looking forward to a good show. Thank you as always, Eric. Hopefully I'll be able to make a trip up here. Plan next week. We'll see.
Next week.
I believe so.
Oh,
We'll see if that's in the plans.
Hopefully.
Short notice, but we'll see. We also got my grandma tuning in and my grandpa, basically, Kelly, tuning in. What's up, guys? As always, thank y'all for everything. Thank y'all for tuning in. Duncan, before we got to the break, we were obviously talking a lot of baseball, a lot of pitchers and issues and things of that sort. Max on the comment line also says that his fastball gave you the most trouble.
I would agree. He did. I feel like I don't remember if I got a hit. I think I always K'd to him, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah, now I got to beat him in golf, though. That's my next goal.
Yeah, we are taking our talents to golf. We've been doing that for the last year. I'm not going to lie. Duncan is a better golfer overall, but somehow I'm My record does not show that. My record against Duncan is pretty clean right now. I can probably count how many times he's beat me on one hand over the last year, and that's great. It doesn't make sense, but it's perfect. So if you ever want to play golf with us here, let us know, whether you're a listener who tunes in every time, whether you're someone who just wants to play golf with some guys who aren't great but are very fun. Let us know. 402-464-5685. But before we got to break, we talked about some potential All-Star game places and things like that. As we know, the 2027 All-Star game, where will that be, Duncan?
Wrigley Field, baby.
Are we going to try to make an appearance there or what? Is that the plan?
My pockets probably cannot handle that.
You got a year to prepare, so
yeah.
We should go to the Home Run Derby at least.
Yeah.
Go see Vlad in there.
In the bleachers. Yeah, that'd definitely be.
That'd be crazy. We could be bleacher creatures.
We could.
Bredilio. But in 2028, got announced today, Oracle Park for the San Francisco Giants. They'll be hosting the 2028 All-Star Game and all the festivities there. I'm excited for that. Obviously, I think they have a beautiful stadium. That's one that we mentioned earlier.
Yep.
I'm excited to see the Home Run Derby there. That's going to be amazing. I know the right-handed hitters don't really hit them out there too much. I think it's only happened once now, I believe.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah. Who was it?
I don't know. I want to say it was maybe somebody on the Giants, actually.
I want to say maybe it was Heliot Ramos.
Yeah, I want to say that too. Yeah,
I think so, and that's Yankee now. So shout out Max.
He might be a Yankee, or it might have been the Yankees then, but I think it was.
No, but I think he got traded at the deadline. That's what I mean. But I'm excited for it. Obviously, that's going to bring a whole new aspect of it on. I know they usually. Oh no, we're going back to outs now. Are you a fan of that? Them going back to outs instead of the timed home runs?
I like the time, because then it was just you could just swing for as much as you wanted and just however many you could get without getting tired. Then go ahead and
I liked it. I think obviously this year was the first time they've gone back to that in years.
Yeah.
And obviously the story with it was cool, because you're there holding your breath. It's they got one out left. The magic's gonna happen. But I don't know. I'm a fan of that. The guys just swinging off. I'm a fan when the home run totals are crazy. It just seemed weird for me to kind of see Bryce Harper finishes with 12 home runs on the night, and it's okay, he could have got that in 2 minutes, if he was just swinging for the fences. And I'm a fan of that, but I think too, it's when you think about it'll be in San Francisco, we're waiting for that ball to hit the ground. Are they going to wait for the ball to hit the ocean if there was timed? Who knows? But what are some stadiums, and we'll get into the 2029 one here in a second, because that one got announced today too. I'm looking forward to that one. If you got any hints, what are some places you want to see them maybe return to, or just have an All-Star game that we haven't seen in recent years somewhere? Where would you like to see it?
Return to is definitely Coors, obviously, for elevation reasons. That World Series, or that home run derby was sick. Was that the 2019 one?
No, that was, I want to say 2021.
2021. Wow,
yeah.
It felt it's so long ago, but also felt like it was yesterday. That's crazy.
Yeah. You know who won that one?
Was it Vlad?
No.
Who?
I want to say it was Pete Alonso.
You know what?
I think that's when him and Trey Man. Or no, was that Soto's year? No.
Dude, I don't even know.
We're going to pull this up. I don't want to sound like we don't know.
Yeah.
But I do know that was the year that Shohei was in it. Trey Mancini was in it. Soto was in it.
Some pretty cool uniforms too that year.
Yeah. Are you a fan of them resorting back to just wearing their own jerseys now?
No, I always thought the All-Star jerseys were pretty cool.
Interesting. I know that's an indifferent opinion there. Some people are happy that they're wearing their jerseys again. I think the problem wasn't that they're not wearing their jerseys. The problem is some of those jerseys were just genuinely bad.
Some of them were disgusting.
Yeah, but I liked it. Having the American on the front, and then you have your Blue Jays logo on the sleeve. I thought that was awesome. I do think those 2021 Colorado jerseys were beautiful.
Sick.
They look like soccer uniforms. I know that was the consensus around them when they first came out, but those are the ones that had the abbreviations going down, right? Yeah, I think those are sick. And
those are cool.
The home run derby field here. There's some names in here that I forgot were actually a part of this. So
read them to me.
Your 1 versus 8 seed was Ohtani versus Soto.
Soto was an 8?
Yeah.
How did they do that?
I think they just based it off of who has the most home runs at that point.
Wow.
That was Shohei's MVP year, so I think he was at 30 before the break. Insane. Yeah. Thanks, Vlad. But he ends up Ohtani had a pretty lackluster performance. So Soto takes him on, wins there. Your 4 and 5 seed was Salvador Perez, who also had an MVP finalist season.
Perez.
Yeah.
Wow.
Versus Pete Alonso. Obviously, Pete Alonso would go on to win that one. And then on the other side of the bracket, your 2 versus 7. These are 2 names I'm sure you probably did not think would even be mentioned. One of them maybe, one of them not. I
kind of want to guess this. Can you give me a hint?
One of them is a hometown guy for that event.
Okay, I give up. Just go
Okay.
ahead.
It was Joey Gallo and
Wow.
Trevor Story going at it.
Trevor Story's kind of lame. Joey Gallo, that'd be sick.
Yep. And then 3 and 6, Matt Olson, Trey Mancini.
Mancini and Matt Olson hits tanks.
Yeah, but Mancini would go on to win that one. Trevor
Wow.
Story would go on to win that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so your final 4 would end up being Soto versus Alonso, Trevor Story versus Trey Mancini, and then Pete Alonso would end up beating Juan Soto. Trey Mancini beats Trevor Story, and then it was a Pete Alonso, Trey Mancini finish, like I had said, so I was correct. Wow. And then Pete Alonso ends up winning his second, I believe, at that time.
I thought it was his first, and then his back.
No, his first one was 2019.
Didn't he go back to back though? I'm pretty sure he went back to back.
I think it would have technically been back to back because there wasn't a 2020 All-Star game. Because I know he won it in 2019. I think he's won 3.
Who was 22?
Where was 22?
Oh my gosh, I don't even remember.
2022 Home Run Derby. We're looking this up here.
Was that Texas?
2022 was Juan Soto.
Where at? So I don't mean to go have you digging on a.
Yeah, no, we'll figure this out.
Hole.
But I think 2023 was in Seattle.
Oh, that one.
No, 2022 was in LA, the Dodgers.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, that's when Albert Pujols was in it.
Gosh, I remember the Futures game with Mason Wynn.
Mason Wynn throwing 100
across the diamond. Yeah,
12 across the diamond. Yeah, you had Pujols in it. You had Pete Alonso obviously was in it. Gets upset by J-Rod. So that was great.
Wow. That's when was Manoah mic'd up for that?
He was for the All-Star game the very next day.
And then he just fell off, right? And then fell off face of the earth. Yeah, sorry.
Anyways, but moving on there, I think Colorado would be a fun one to get back in there. I want to see it at Fenway. I think that'd be awesome to see it there. See, like it goes back to just some of these stadiums. I just don't know if I don't know. I think for me, nostalgic wise, I think one of the first All-Star games I truly tuned into, and I'll have to find the year here, was when they had it in Arizona with the Diamondbacks play. And I'll have to find what year that was, but that was a good one. I'm excited. Obviously, there's a name I haven't mentioned because it's going to happen. The Toronto Blue Jays are hosting the 2029 All-Star game. And again, I've never been able to be there to Rogers Center or to see them play in Canada. I've seen them play around and in Houston, basically. But I think that's going to be awesome. I think that fan base is going to show out. Like the Blue Jays, again, we've seen time and time again that they're a fan base of their own. So I'm excited for that. It's going to be awesome. Maybe I'm going to have to figure out a way to be there. I got 3 years to make it happen. It's going to happen. I'm excited. Do you think, again, we'll turn this back to the Royals here. Do you think Kauffman deserves another All-Star game? Obviously, deserves a weird word, but how would you feel about another Kauffman All-Star game there?
I mean, I really don't mind it. I really don't care. But do you think they factor in like the city at all and like just the atmosphere as a whole when deciding this?
I would think so because, I mean, you think about it, they did, like, just going back to 21, they had Colorado, then they went to LA. Those are both big, cities, actual cities. Then they go to Seattle in 2023. 2024 was Texas Rangers.
New stadium, so that was.
Yeah. And then last year's was what? Atlanta, the Braves, and then this year was, I'm blanking on this year. Where was this year? Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So those are all pretty big markets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know if they would. When did the Royals when was their last All-Star?
I'm going to have to check.
They've hosted before, though?
Yeah. Robinson Cano was in that home run derby.
Oh, wow.
All right. We'll pull this up here. 2012. But that was also following a major $250 million stadium renovation too.
Really?
I think we'll probably get a Vegas one 2030.
No, yeah. I don't think we'll see another Royals one though, just because like you said, the market size and where their stadium's actually at too, it's in a very weird,
not very accessible.
No, it's in like a parking lot next to the Chiefs stadium.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of weird.
I agree. I think too, like I think the fan base is awesome. Like the Royals fan base, again, we carry most of the Royals games on here, and at 8:30 we'll be switching over, so you'll be able to get that for your last 30 minutes there. I'm excited though. I think it's awesome. What are some of your All-Star game moments or even home run derby, just All-Star festivity moments that kind of stand out above all for yours? I can start one while you think about one. Obviously, 2021, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. wins the All-Star game MVP. I clearly remember that, obviously, because it's Vlad, but Tatis is mic'd up for that. Hits a huge moonshot off of Corbin Burns, straight over, basically shortstop, just left center. home run. I was actually at a certain sports bar with my friend Nikki, and I was just in awe. Like that was my World Series, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But what stands out for you there?
I think in 2016, when it was the whole infield was the Cubs. It was you had Brian at third base, Russell at short, Baez at second, and Rizzo at first base, and Bryant was batting leadoff, and Joe Buck was announcing the game, and he was saying how much Bryant like struggled against Chris Sale because he was going against Chris Sale, and like I want to say it was the first pitch of the All-Star game bomb, and it was just like that was Bryant's MVP year, and we know how his career trajectory unfortunately took a turn, but it is sad, but yeah, that's easily my favorite one. And
nice.
Yeah.
Any kind of low lights come to mind when you think of the All-Star game? Because for me, like maybe not low lights, but I like to think of like, man, like I just saw Bo Bichette get struck out in 3 pitches. Like I think that's always the fun part. Is like I try to enjoy the All-Star game, obviously, and it's fun, but it's like man, like I just saw Ernie Clement ground out 3 times tonight. Like, am I really happy as a Blue Jays fan? Not necessarily. Yeah, I think that's always fun to tune in though. For like, I think it's cool. Where would you rank the MLB All-Star game? We'll get into that right now before we get to break. Where would you rank it amongst other like the main sports and their All-Star weekends and festivities?
I think it's easily number 1, only because you can't, like with NBA, like you could take a few possessions off, and like there's no joking around with this. Like they're still throwing 101 mile an hour with breaking ball and off speed, and like you can't fake that stuff. Like in the NBA, obviously you could, like I said, not play defense, you do whatever. And the NFL, the NFL's one is so garbage. It's kind of sad.
Flag football now they're resorting to. I agree.
It is kind of tough because obviously you don't want guys getting hurt in pads unnecessarily, but MLB is easily number 1.
Yeah, I agree. I think the home run derby is probably just the best thing too. Like obviously the game's fun, but I just think comparing it to even like obviously the player skill challenges in the NFL, I'm not really tuning into that. I'll tune into the dunk. I haven't tuned into the dunk contest in a while. Like once we started getting guys who just weren't people I really necessarily knew, like the Blake Griffin one, that was awesome. And Dwight Howard back in the day was awesome.
There's also just only so many dunks that you can do.
Yeah.
Like until you can only come up with so many ideas, and I think the NFL's is like best catch or something like that. So it's a joke.
It's hard to, I think it's hard to do, and I truly think like not even that people don't understand how fun the MLB All-Star Week and festivity is, but like again, if you were to have even if you move the game to Sunday or something, like have the Future Stars game on Friday, the home run derby and all that on Saturday, and then Sunday you have the All-Star game. Like I think they could make that just so much better versus the home run derby's on a Monday night and the All-Star game's on a Tuesday. It's like people got work tomorrow, and then depending which coast it's on, it's like you don't know what time that game's going to start to get over with. Like I want to see my guys on the weekends. Like I think that'd be so much better. Again, you could grow it even more, and it's just I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I don't know if Manfred's ever going to figure that out, but who knows? All I know is hopefully by 2029, Rudy Gres has All-Star game and home run derby tickets to the Toronto Blue Jays hosting. Who knows? We'll get into that. But with that being said, we will be wrapping things up here for our second segment on the second hour here. When we get back, we're going to break down some MVP races, some players to watch, maybe for good or bad reasons, and then some more some more awards that are going to be up for recognition at the end of the season, who we think is leading those. We'll get into all of that. He's Duncan. I'm Rudy. This is Real Talk with Rudy Gres IV, 93.7 Ticket, ticketfm.com.
New from Arbor Axe House comes Benny's Battle Barge, the mobile axe throwing adventure. Perfect for festivals, parties, fundraisers, and celebrations. Charter the barge at arbораxe.com or call Arbor Axe House at 402-802-9696. Arbor Axe House at the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
When Nebraska businesses win, we all win. And the Nebraska Chamber is helping make that happen. Tackling the tough stuff like job creation, affordable and accessible childcare, and building a stronger workforce. We're stepping up so local businesses can step forward. If you want to see Nebraska keep growing, keep competing, and keep winning, get connected with the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Learn more at nechamber.com.
Looking for the right utility tractor for your acreage? Find it at Landmark Implement. Shop our selection of used John Deere compact tractors from 1 through 5 series with the power and versatility to track mowing, yard work, snow removal, and more. For a limited time, get 2.9% financing for 36 months, followed by 6.2 for 24 months with approved credit. We've got the right fit for your property and your budget. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or visit us online at landmarkimp.com today and experience the Landmark difference.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built upon hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with room for advancement.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and new Sierra and Silverado trucks continue to roll in, and August is a great time to upgrade. Right now, get new GMC Sierras for under $50,000 or get 2.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,500 bonus cash. Visit us in Louisville or anytime at koppelcars.com. Stock number G306367 with approved credit.
Do you ever feel okay in your current job and profession, but wonder if there's a better company that can offer more? Vision Mechanical is now hiring for journeyman plumbers and HVAC service technicians. Vision Mechanical offers top-of-the-industry wages, 100% paid health, disability, and life insurance, 401k with employee match, and paid holidays and vacation. Vision Mechanical believes in craftsmanship, teamwork, and building a better future, one project at a time. Apply today or learn more at visionmechanical.net or email Ron at vmech.net.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves. We would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate again. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios at 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Reality is setting in. Now back to Real Talk with Rudy Gres IV on 93.7 The Ticket.
That is right. Welcome back to Real Talk. Last segment of our second hour here. Again, 3-hour Real Talk special on Fridays. We'll see what that looks like once, of course, we get our high school football programming in here. We'll adjust. We'll adapt. Until then, you got us on the airwaves. With that being said, we've been talking a lot of baseball the second hour, as I promised. And there's awards that will be brought up towards the end of the season, obviously. And we're going to get into some of these. Some of these have a little more favorites than others. Some of them are coming down to the wire here as the season's almost a month and a half out, at least the regular season here. Before we get into that, though, I do want to bring up Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I have on my notes here, Vlad home run tracker, and that would be cool if it was going the other way, but it's we're on watch right now. The Blue Jays are hosting the Yankees for a series up in Toronto.
Oof.
Yeah,
make or break.
Yeah, we're 2 games behind right now still. So
and the
wild card. Yeah. And so Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has not hit a home run at Rogers Center, which is their home stadium, in the regular season in 362 days. So if he kind of goes home runless against the Yankees, it's going to be a complete year, and that's going to be
sad.
Very. I think just following the season they had, and again, I think people were kind of overestimated where Vlad was going to be at this year because his regular season last year wasn't amazing. It wasn't obviously horrible like this one's kind of going in now. He's still single-digit home runs. I think he's of 2 players that don't have a home run at their home stadium. It was 3, but then Luis Arias home stadium home run at the Phillies. So that was very short-lived. I don't know. I think it's interesting when players kind of just lose that power. I mean, Cal Riley's one. Cal Riley's just not really hitting the ball in general. I think last year he had 60 home runs. Last year right now he has 51 hits on the exact season. So last year he had more home runs than he has hits right now, and that's just insane. What's your biggest takeaway when you kind of see guys like that just drop off from one year to the next?
Baseball, I mean, that's just kind of how it is. It sucks, but that's take the good with the bad. And right now it's really, really bad. But, next year he could be back to being Vladimir Guerrero. It's just, yeah, right. You do hope so. It's just baseball. But I wonder because didn't he get paid this offseason, huh?
No, it was last offseason.
It was last offseason. Wow.
Yeah,
wow,
that's what they were saying.
There wasn't even,
that's what they were saying. They were like, oh, we're glad we paid him when he went off in the postseason. It was like, we're glad we paid him then.
Yeah.
But yeah, Max on the comment line says Gleyber Torres did that too for a couple of years. Kind of odd. Yeah, well, Gleyber Torres was never an MVP candidate like Vlad. So let's chill out there, Max. But I get what you're saying. The drop off is always just interesting. But yeah, I mean, hopefully he can heat up. I wouldn't hate him going for 30 home runs the next 30 days, but that's just me.
Yeah.
With that being said, let's get into some MVP talks here. Well, we're gonna save the NL one for the very last because that is your guy. That is your stake in the claim here. AL MVP down to 3 finalists or so for now. Yordan Alvarez, Junior Caminero, and Bobby Witt Jr. are the three favorites right now. I think it's pretty safe to say that it's probably going to be headed back to Houston for Yordan.
I agree.
I think he's on pace, or at least he was. I have to check the standings for everything, but at one point was on pace for a AL Triple Crown. I know he's tied in the lead for home runs, and he's going to have to rival Caminero pretty much all season for the rest of this. But I like it. I think Yordan's one of those guys that, DH, I don't care. It's awesome. I mean, I like watching him. He has a great swing. I think he's up there. What are your thoughts, Yordan Alvarez's season so far?
I mean, just unreal. Like he's always been this good, but I thought I read that not only the AL Triple Crown, I thought it was the whole MLB Triple Crown that he was. At least last time I checked.
I think he just has to rival Otto Lopez and then Luis Arias. That's it.
Yeah, for batting average, Otto Lopez out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But do you have Caminero stats pulled up by chance?
I can pull them up. Yes.
I feel like Caminero is also having obviously a great year. Like Caminero was more just home run or bust, but Yordan hits the home runs. He has RBIs too. He drives runners in, and he hits for average, right? He's hitting like what 320 something?
Yeah, we'll pull this up here. I got Caminero stats. Caminero on the season, he has batting a 279.
Wow, 279.
So
good.
I know we don't round up, but basically almost having a 280 season. 35 home runs on the season, 127 hits, alongside 77 RBIs. Not many guys getting on base for him, but then 2 stolen bases in the process. On base percentage of 370, slugging 553, OPS 922. Elite there. Yeah, I mean he's having a great season. He's not striking out too much. He's probably going to obviously eclipse that 100 mark, but he's at 96 strikeouts on the season, so he's getting the bat on the ball. Let's see how many walks he's at. I'm in case of those who don't know, I'm a fan of walks here.
I don't think he's a guy that walks a lot. I could just be completely wrong.
65 walks on the season.
That's not horrible.
Yeah, I'll take that. Then let's compare to Yordan Alvarez's stats here. Yordan I didn't bring up the at-bats for Junior, so I won't do that here, but I'm sure they're very similar. Yordan batting a 322, 35 home runs, 140 hits, 87 RBIs, 1 stolen base, and on base percentage of 436. Slugging 621, OPS of 1057, and it's just, I mean, he is a career 300 batting average right now thanks to the season.
That dude, he's just a pure hitter.
Yeah.
He is so good at hitting a baseball. It's insane.
He's at 84 walks on the season as well. Wow. So again, like
sorry, real quick, how many strikeouts?
91.
Wow, so he's almost walking, right? You said he's in
84. Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, obviously striking out a little bit more, but you're right there. Yeah, he's
1-1 ratio.
Insane right now. So italic stats on here on Baseball Reference. Season totals indicate player led all of major leagues. Right now, he's leading in batting average.
Wow.
According to Baseball Reference.
Yep.
And he is leading in on base percentage, slugging, OPS. Yeah, there's other stats because there's basically baseball stats being created every day that are just insane. But so yeah, Yordan's probably going to walk away with down pretty easily there. We'll go through some of the other ones here that are pretty easy to kind of write off. I think your American League Rookie of the Year is going to come down between Munetaka Murakami and Kevin McGonigal. I think from the Tigers, I think it's going to go into one of those. I think both are deserving. Not really too much of a debate there. Anybody else? I don't know. Not really too big on anybody else on the list here. We got Parker Messick and Trey Savage. Do not give that award to Trey Savage, please.
Yeah, I think that's McGonigal's award.
Yeah. NL Cy Young, Mizorowski and Christopher Sanchez. I think it's Mizorowski's award to win.
Much as it pains me to say, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just go through some quick stats here. Innings pitched, Sanchez has 22 more innings pitched, but again, ERA for Mizorowski is 1.76, 2.54 for Sanchez. Strikeouts, 204 for Mizorowski, 180 for Sanchez. It's just, I mean, the walks too. He has 30 walks on the season, which is crazy. We'll skip over the AL one. I've talked about that race enough to wrap things up here. The MVP for the National League right now. We have a new front runner favorite according to all the gambling odds.
Yeah, we do.
Who is that, and who do you think is going to win it?
I got to go with my GOAT, PCA. The biggest argument I'm seeing on Twitter is that Shohei pitches. Yeah, Shohei hasn't pitched since since before the All-Star.
Yeah, he hasn't pitched this second half yet at all.
And as far you don't win or lose games in the first half of the season, or you don't win or lose, playoff spots, or I'm blanking on it. You can't win or lose a division in the first half. So when it matters, they were on a nice little skid there, but of course they had to use the Royals as their get back series. They swept them, so unfortunately. But it's got to be PCA. Yeah, I mean, he's out there every single day playing platinum level defense, and he's
I agree.
Nearly 1-1 stats with Shohei. He might even be leading in some.
Yeah, well, I was about to read all the stats before we get to the break. WAR, PCA's at a 7.4 right now. Shohei's 6.4, so basically a whole game above.
Yep.
Plate appearances, about 30 more on the season. Hits, 130 to 126. PCA leads that. Home runs, still tied at 27 there. RBIs, 74 to 73. Shohei's taking that. Stolen bases, though, 30 for PCA, 7 for Ohtani this year, who after having that, 50-50 season he had, we haven't really seen him steal many bases since. Batting average, Shohei's batting at 292. PCA's batting at 281. Again, PCA has had around 30 more plate appearances. Not say that Shohei wouldn't do good in those, but that always weighs some heavy on there. On base percentage, 381 for PCA, 391 for Shohei. Slugging, 539 to 544 for Shohei. OPS, 920 for PCA, 935 for Shohei. OPS plus, 157 to 154 for Shohei. Again, very interchangeable stats. I mean, Shohei's leading 5 of those towards the end, but still by very small margins. And again, I think the stats are important, but it's also what you see out there. And I've always think the most valuable player is the player you can't seem to win without. And that's just kind of where I'm at on that. I think that's my biggest takeaway when it comes with these guys is that's what's valuable to me.
Yeah.
Is guys that can get it done. And I think when you take PCA off that Cubs, are they the same Cubs? Not necessarily.
No.
That is my takeaway for that. And I mean, it is what it is.
The Dodgers had 6 All-Stars too, by the way, and they're interchangeable, so it doesn't even matter. And I don't think I'm in the minority here when I'm saying we're all rooting for the Dodgers downfall. At least I am.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry for all the Dodgers fans out there, but I think the baseball's in a bad place right now, and I'm hoping there's a season next year. I know I kind of diverted there, but I'm worried about that.
Agreed. With that being said, we'll be taking a quick break here. Again, I believe the Royals game has switched over now on the airwaves for the Royals pregame, so now we are on streaming only. I'll double check that over the break to be sure. With that being said, we'll be talking about some NFL into the next hour here. I know you're not a college guy, Duncan, so we'll tailor it to you here.
Sorry, man.
We'll talk about some NFL. Don't worry, I talk college football in the first half. Great segment there. This is Real Talk with Rudy Gres the 4th, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hi, Kendall Warnock here, owner of A1 Automotive in Seward. We're more than just an automotive repair shop. We're part of this community. Our mission is simple: serve people well, build trust, and provide reliable vehicle repairs at a fair price. From oil changes to diagnostics, major repairs, we're here to help keep your family safe on the road. A1 Automotive, 408 Main Street, Seward, Nebraska.
Building a new home can be a challenge, a lot of big choices. With our Remington homes, we have designed 15 different floor plans that appeal to a wide range of people.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, painted trim, wood floors, more stone, all options with our Remington homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. You're able to get what you really want in a home for a great price with very limited stress. And that's what Remington homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Hey everyone, this is Austin Orman from Old School with Foreman and Orman, live from 1040 O Street in the heart of downtown Lincoln. My favorite thing about downtown Lincoln has to be the year-round energy. Downtown Lincoln never stops. It's easy to get to, has everything you could need or want in dining, entertainment, and retail, and of course it has Lincoln's best sports talk, proudly located in downtown Lincoln on the corner of 11th and O.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, take the worm, put it on the hook. Now bring your pole back and throw it forward. And just let the fish come to you.
I got a bite! It's a big one, Dad!
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs, quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside's margaritas and old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils. Hot, bold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
At Schwezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Build with us. Work safe, go home proud. We're hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back, on and off the job site. If you're ready to be part of a company where your safety and success come first, visit schwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com and apply today. Schwezo Construction, 40 years strong and still building the future.
Staying healthy and comfortable starts with the air you breathe. If you're noticing more dust, odors, or allergies, it could be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Pure Air starts with cleaner air ducts. Pair with enhanced filtration and purifications options, and the difference is amazing. When the air you breathe is clean and fresh, your home smells fresher, and your family is healthier. Time for cleaner air in your home? Call Bryant for a free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
In the Westby for Comeback Athlete of the Year is Rudy Gres.
How about that? 3 hits for Rudy Gres at DH.
The headlines, they can lie. The scoreboard, it can mislead. But Rudy, whether you like it or not, will keep it real. Get your dose of reality during Real Talk with Rudy Gres the Fourth on 93.7 The Ticket.
That is right. Welcome back. Real Talk with Rudy Gres the Fourth. Again, if you're tuning in, the Royals did just take over the airwaves there. I'll let it slide. They have Bobby Witt. I have Duncan. 2 different shortstops there, so I get it. We'll let it go. With that being said, though, obviously the first hour, talked a lot of college football here. If you missed that, go give it a listen. Talk Jayden Daniels drama. Cinco, that number 5, just really making a mess over there. But, hey, good for him. Very petty. I think it's the NIL, just the way it's taken over all these guys' egos. Talked about which teams I think probably are going to be the most favorable for a champion. We had someone on the comment line saying that Kurt Cignetti's probably a one and done. Oh, wow. I don't know if that's true because he's done it for back-to-back years, but that's just me. And then, of course, wrapped it up with some teams on the season who I think could be there. MLB, we talked second hour there, so that was good. Got a lot of the Cubs talk in there for Duncan towards the end. Pretty interesting. Duncan, you have another team that you support. Who's your NFL team?
I'm a Tennessee Titans fan.
And I like to poke fun at the people that I work with. Some people have 12 teams, it seems, for every sport here. How did you become a Titans fan?
My dad followed them when they were the Oilers, and he just followed them to Tennessee.
Nice. Yeah. You just grew up with it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Grew into all my sports teams.
There you go. So you're a big Cam Ward fan.
That's the next great thing.
All right. Ward, so that's obviously we got preseason football now, which is what we're going to talk about here for the third hour. At least NFL, not just preseason, obviously. But what are some of your? I'll keep it tailored for you for the first part here, and then we'll take it over. But what are some of your initial Cam Ward takeaways from yesterday's game that he got to participate a little bit in? I don't know how long he played or what, but what were your takeaways from his performance yesterday?
I'm unfortunately didn't get to watch it for whatever reason. It was airing on YouTube TV, but it was not. Apparently we were blocked out even though I was loading the channel. But from what I read, my Titans beat reporters, the guys I follow on Twitter, they were just saying that he seemed kind of sped up, but it was all, I mean, it's the first game, the first preseason game. So yeah. I'm not overreacting. If they would have won, or they did win. If he would have went out there and lit it up, I would have been like, oh, MVP. But because he played, it's
the process now.
Yep, exactly.
How do you? Because I know it's easy for us like that to do either or. Where it's like, oh, I mean, we're going to talk about Drew Aller a little bit. Drew Aller ends up going out there for the Steelers, having a good game. A guy that, following his Penn State playoff run that one year, would have been now the 2024 season, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, including yourself, were kind of high on him. Maybe he was going to come out after that year, and then obviously returns, has some injuries. Penn State doesn't look nearly as strong. They were a really weak team last year. How can you base what the season's going to be based in the preseason? I know it's harder, easier said than done, but what is your mindset when it comes to just preseason football overall?
In the very beginning, I think they play 3 or 4 games. The last 2, I think those are a little more telling because then after you get that first game under your belt and you knock off that rust a little bit. But I mean, it's preseason. Like I know they were playing the Niners last night and they didn't have any starters going. So it's, guys playing for their job. So I'm not really tripping about it too much or, overanalyzing it. It's NFL preseason week 1. Yeah. It's just stuff to talk about, right? It's just headlines. It's all it really is.
Speaking of headlines, I know I'm going to be jumping all over the place. We have a plan here, but there's just once we're talking, things start popping up. Headlines galore is kind of following my wide receiver one in our dynasty group chat. Puka Nacua.
Oh,
I don't know if you saw the reports, the new reports now from yesterday that came out saying that he was involved in an incident at his home or at a party. I apologize, at a party hosted by like Fanatics and all Michael Rubin and all those guys, where he ended up running through a glass window.
Wow.
And obviously gets cut up. And then, of course, a couple days ago, we see that he leaves practice with an injury with the trainers and such that we don't really get much clarification on. And again, we had just some previous offseason stuff that we don't got to get into in too much detail here. But for guys like Puka, I mean, he's on the verge of getting paid is the hope.
Yeah.
What is the like that when the headlines are there? It's offseason, so obviously everything that they do off the field is going to be monitored extremely closely. I think we run into the issue in just professional sports, even in the college aspect, now that these kids are getting paid millions. What do you think makes it so hard for some of these guys to just simply be football players and just do what seems to be the easy answer and do the right thing sometimes?
I think a part of it is just, or maybe a good chunk of it is, I mean, they're leading with their head when they tackle, and I think some of that could potentially be from the CTE aspect and just players not, I don't know, just long-term damage. And it sucks that CTE will never, it's something that you can only examine after death.
Yeah.
So it would be cool if you could analyze that. Like I'm going to kind of, I know we're just talking about Puka, but the Cowboys guy, the one that went off, he was,
passing away, all that.
That whole story. And it came out that like he had CTE. And it's like, I really think that does play a pretty significant part. Cause I mean, for all your life, you're banging your head as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Like we played baseball for 20 years. Those guys have probably played football for 20 plus years. And I mean, that's just all that head damage. And I mean, it eventually gives out and you get, the CTE.
Yeah, I agree. I think it goes back. Cause I know we've talked about it just at the apartment and such. You never played football growing up.
No, thank God. It was too scary to get hit.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think
way too scary.
Like I think that's the fun part. Is like I think there's like two groups of people when it comes to wanting to be football players or not, where it's like that idea of like, man, putting the helmet on, putting the pads on, just going to lay somebody out. It's like that's kind of my dream.
Yeah.
It's like I've said it before. Like if there could be anything in this world that I could be, I'd want to be like a Division I football player. Yeah, the NFL, cool, but like that, just having the entire stadium behind you, the entire town behind you, like being a defensive end at Nebraska, like that would be the dream for me. And it's like I'm 5'9", 5'10", so that wasn't on paper anyways. Shout out to my genes there, but like so I had to figure it out. But I think it's just interesting that like there's people who are always gonna be like, yeah, like it's too dangerous. Obviously, there's only so many protective measures you can go to, so many advanced technologies for helmets that you can go to. At the end of the day, your brain's still getting rattled. And again, I've had my fair share of concussions from football as well. Like it's a sport where that's always going to be the norm. But yeah, I mean, if there was ever any way to kind of track CTE in real time, and again, I'm not a scientist. I'm not going to act like I am either. I don't know if that's ever a possibility or not. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it's where the game's at. And I think it's obviously sad to see because, yeah, I mean, it's hard to judge what some of these guys do. Some of what they do, CTE or not, it's like, okay, we got to draw the line. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, for some of these guys, it's like, what truly is their fault? What is truly just a byproduct of the game they're playing? And I think it's just, it's crazy to see. And I'm glad that we're getting more awareness for that too. Like, it's just, that's good to see. I mean, I think back to the movie Concussion from back in the day. I believe it was Will Smith that was in that movie. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I watched it. I was in a sports management or a sports health class in high school. We watched it. Like, it's an interesting way that like the brain is so fragile, but it's a sport where that kind of goes out the window. Yeah, the targeting and all that, and there's new targeting rules in college football too, which is interesting enough that we can talk about too in a couple moments. But back to just the preseason talks. We went a little off tangent there in a good way. I think when I'm looking at a lot of these games, I'm eager to see like that. The Fernando Mendoza, he goes out there. I believe he was 10 for 16, 97 yards and a touchdown in the mix.
Oh, wow.
He had some good passes in there. He was throwing some tight spirals. He didn't look flustered. Yeah, I mean, the first drive he went out there was a little crazy, but like the fans are just that's my thing. I'm not a Raiders fan. I'm not an Indiana Hoosier fan. I'm not a Fernando Mendoza #1 fan. I like the kid. I think he can play good football. I think his personality is one that is kind of hit or miss for some people. Some people like how his answers are. Some people think it's a little corny, forced. But I think when it comes to him, like I'm very skeptical of just his skill set. But I think it's always cool to see the like for the Raiders fans, like this is their saving grace. This is who they've expected to come in and turn around all things and put put the Ashton Genty to use and put Brock Bowers to use and keep building around that. Like there was flags out there and it just said like Fernando something on it, like just, and it's his face on the Raiders logo, and it's like, wow, like these guys they're fully bought into what Fernando Mendoza is. He's not even going to be their starting quarterback come week 1 more than likely, and it's like that's just awesome. And again, you're coming from a Titans franchise here. What is that feeling like? Like obviously preseason rolls around, you're banking on this one young guy out of college to be your saving grace. What are the emotions going to that? How can these fans kind of keep a level-headed thought process about him even when things maybe go wrong?
I think it just kind of varies from fan base to fan base. Like you said, the Vegas Raiders, I'm pretty sure I was watching highlights of that game and it looked like the stadium was pretty damn near packed. So that was pretty crazy. But I mean, you've also got to remember like, hey, these kids he's a rookie, right? And also you were picking first. So you're picking first in the draft last year. So expectations are, I admit I come in a little high with the Titans. Like I know I talk my trash and everything, but realistically I know that, it's, you're just looking to see improvement their rookie year. And then, okay, maybe they take that year 2 leap. And then it's like year 3, you're expecting them to kind of, okay, now let's try and, make a playoff push or potentially. But yeah, I think it just really depends on fan base to fan base. Like if you're like the Vegas Raiders who've, they spent 3 consecutive first round picks on offense. I didn't even realize that until Bowers, Genty, and now. So that's their future right there. And you're just looking for any shorter straws to grasp at to get excited and to be happy. And by the way, Kirk Cousins was named the starter already, which I kind of have my opinion on, but I think
what is your opinion on that?
I think that Mendoza should just be thrown in the fire and see if he can survive and be an NFL quarterback.
See, and I know we've talked about that obviously at the apartment too. Well, I've talked about it here with some guys too. I think I still remain on the same wavelength of like I have no issue with them kind of putting the veteran guy out there. Is Kirk Cousins going to win them a full season? Obviously not. And I think we'll see Mendoza towards the end of the season probably get more of those starts. But I think for the type of quarterback he is, like he's one of those guys that I don't think he's going to learn on the fly. Like, I think Cam Ward's the guy where you throw him in the fire, he'll figure it out. I think obviously we saw with Jayden Daniels, you throw him out there. He did have some weapons, but you throw him out there, he'll figure it out. Caleb Williams, they'll figure it out. Like
I guess I'm looking at it from more of a fan perspective. Like if you're, you're the franchise, you just drafted the #1 overall pick, like you're going to want to see him in action, and especially shiny toy, supposed to be the saving grace of your franchise. You'd want to see him, but I mean, I understand it from a football perspective, not a fan perspective. So
yeah, I agree.
I guess that's why I'm a fan.
Yeah. Speaking of more quarterback talks here, the preseason is always a fun time, but we have some more quarterback battles going on all over the place.
Okay.
Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson right now is one of the main tickers that we're hearing pretty often. I think some of those Shedeur clips have looked pretty decent coming out of camps. I think Watson's had his fair share too. There's some bad throws in there, all obviously, and obviously the Shedeur ones will probably get highlighted more often than not, especially around these parts where Colorado's not too favorited, just from that history they have.
Yeah.
But who do you think should be that starting quarterback? I know we're going to bring up the contract that Deshaun Watson's tied to, but what is your Browns outlook right now?
My Browns outlook is crap to crappier. You're comparing to just horrible quarterbacks, and what even happened with Dylan Gabriel? Is he even in the?
I don't know why they took him.
Yeah, I really. Third string. I know you mentioned it. The contract when you owe that guy over $250 million in guaranteed money, it's tough to have that sit on the bench. But I really don't know. I think they're doomed either way. I mean, it just depends what direction you think the front office wants to go. Are you going with the younger guy and maybe, okay, if we're not, we tank and then we can go at, Arch Manning or this next QB class? But I truly have no idea where you go there.
I think I saw
it's tough. Like I said, crap to crap.
Their depth chart came out a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And it said quarterback 1, Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders. Like it wasn't a yes.
Yeah, it's really
it was an or. And then it was Dylan Gabriel 3 and then Taylor Green 4, the quarterback from Arkansas. Some people thought he was going to rival for a spot there, but whatever. I just think it's I'm obviously I think I'm a little biased. I've mentioned it before. I enjoy watching Shedeur play.
Yeah.
I think his skill set's pretty good. I think we saw last year too. Like he had flashes in those games. I mean, he went toe to toe with Cam Ward and the Titans. Even there were some games, and I think even last year we saw I don't want to go out and say that there was some sabotaging coming from the coaching side of things. That's just speculation. But
with Stefanski?
Yeah, but how does your quarterback get the wrong play call?
No, I agree with
I
that,
think they set him up for failure last year, and I think that played some roles. But I like Shador. I think he gets a lot of unnecessary hate that's always going to be there too, where that's going to weigh heavier than what really is happening on the field anyways.
Yeah.
I think the Browns are just a young team. I mean, they're a team too. I mean, you think they have Isaiah Bond now. I think they took Casey Concepcion, the guy from Texas A&M.
They have Harold Fannin.
Yeah.
Quinshawn Judkins.
Yeah.
If they were me personally, now I'm going back to that question. I would I would roll out Shador Sanders.
Yeah.
And see, like, young guy, it's like, okay, because they have, like you said, they have good weapons. They drafted Casey Concepcion and, like you said, Isaiah Bond. So it's like, and
they could build something.
Yeah, exactly. And the last piece you're missing is that quarterback, but they're notoriously known for not being able to develop quarterbacks. But I think you go and either he sinks or he swims. If he sinks, then, hey, you're picking top 3 with Arch Manning in there as the prize. And if he floats, and hey, you got that. I mean, they're in a tough division. So I think either way they're sinking, but it's better to know than not know, I guess.
Has there ever been a quarterback that the Browns have taken that you thought was gonna figure it out in recent years, or no? It's kind of just been they're doomed from the start.
I think they're kind of doomed from the start. I mean, you think about Baker Mayfield, like he was good his first few years, but I think he got hurt, and I think he pushed through that injury, and that's what kind of shunned him out of there. Colt McCoy, obviously another Texas legend. Colt McCoy, very disappointed. Very disappointing career there. I'm trying to think of who else have they taken.
Johnny Football.
Yeah, that's another one that, oh God, after that documentary came out about him on Netflix, that's just insane.
You didn't watch it?
Yeah, he just not watching any
not a
film.
single minute of film.
I mean, I feel like they're picking in the top 10 every year, and they're rotating quarterbacks every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
it's brutal.
That's a cursed franchise.
Yeah, I'd feel so bad for Browns fans. That's brutal.
Well, we're gonna take a quick break here. When we get back, that brings me to my next topic. Actually, we're gonna talk about some cursed franchises over the couple of years. Some teams that maybe they're not cursed in a bad way, but it's like, okay, they had the weapons, didn't get it done. I obviously think of that Randy Moss, Tom Brady era of the Patriots, things like that. We'll talk about some teams that surprised us for worse, and then we'll talk about some teams that can surprise us for the better, and then obviously we'll wrap up our final segment here with your Friday night boat bomb. Again, he's Duncan. I'm Rudy. This is Road Talk with Rudy Gres IV, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hi, Kendall Warnock here, owner of A1 Automotive in Seward. We're more than just an automotive repair shop. We're part of this community. Our mission is simple: serve people well, build trust, and provide reliable vehicle repairs at a fair price. From oil changes to diagnostics, major repairs, we're here to help keep your family safe on the road. A1 Automotive, 408 Main Street, Seward, Nebraska.
Building a new home can be a challenge, a lot of big choices. With our Remington homes, we have designed 15 different floor plans that appeal to a wide range of people.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, painted trim, wood floors, more stone, all options with our Remington homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. You're able to get what you really want in a home for a great price with very limited stress. And that's what Remington homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Hey everyone, this is Austin Norman from Old School with Foreman and Orman, live from 1040 O Street in the heart of downtown Lincoln. My favorite thing about downtown Lincoln has to be the year-round energy. Downtown Lincoln never stops. It's easy to get to, has everything you could need or want in dining, entertainment, and retail, and of course it has Lincoln's best sports talk, proudly located in downtown Lincoln on the corner of 11th and O.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, take the worm, put it on the hook. Now bring your pole back and throw it forward. And just let the fish come to you.
I got a bite! I got a bite! It's a big one, Dad!
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs, quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside's margaritas and old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils. Hot, bold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
At Schwezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Build with us. Work safe, go home proud. We're hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back, on and off the job site. If you're ready to be part of a company where your safety and success come first, visit schwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com and apply today. Schwezo Construction, 40 years strong and still building the future.
Staying healthy and comfortable starts with the air you breathe. If you're noticing more dust, odors, or allergies, it could be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Pure Air starts with cleaner air ducts, pair with enhanced filtration and purifications options, and the difference is amazing. When the air you breathe is clean and fresh, your home smells fresher and your family is healthier. Time for cleaner air in your home? Call Bryant for a free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Rick Heyman here from Starter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Starter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at starterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Reality is setting in. Now back to Real Talk with Rudy Gres IV on 93.7 The Ticket.
That is right. Welcome back. Real Talk with Rudy Gres IV here, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Before we got to the break, we were talking about the Browns, unfortunately, and how their offseason's going. Obviously, interesting times for the dog pound over there. There's a lot to look forward to. I know the fans love Shador, so hopefully that's the kicker. Hopefully they can roll with that. Who knows? I want Shador to figure it out. And again, I know some people in this area probably don't. That's out of my hands. I'm sorry, Shador, but I'm wishing the best. I have a vintage Shador Sanders number 12 jersey, so hopefully it pans out. But when it comes to the preseason, obviously we see teams who are kind of in the same situation of having to figure out these younger instances pretty quickly, like the Browns. Obviously, we see teams who are just, there's always something that they're waiting to kind of set them over the edge. And I mean, the Cardinals We're kind of seeing that with Jeremiah Love, and even Carson Beck's kind of making some waves every now and then. But over the course of football, I feel like we're always talking about the same teams at the bottom of the totem pole. It's the Browns, the Raiders. What teams come to mind for you that seem to kind of be cursed? I think the Cowboys are cursed.
Yep, I was just gonna say the Cowboys.
I think the Texans are in that standpoint right
Yep,
now, where it's like they got a good season sometimes, but it's never enough. Like, what teams do you think in our lifetime here? We're both 22, 23.
Yep.
Do you think we're probably not going to see them get over this hump of lack of success?
Hot take, I'm going to say Josh Allen. I don't think he's ever going to – great quarterback, obviously, but when it matters most, he never shows up. I think Lamar Jackson, another great talent, but when it matters most, they choke. Dallas, I love as much as I love to see Dallas fail as a Titans fan, and being from Texas, growing up with Cowboys fans everywhere, they get really, really the way they walk around and the way they talk. You would think they've won 5 Super Bowls in the last 10 years, but they haven't. Sadly, I don't think they've seen even a conference championship appearance in 20 years. So that's lovely. Like I said, the Browns. Unfortunately, I think the Titans are cursed.
Okay.
At least right now, I'm hoping that they could, maybe take that step forward.
You have the Dolphins up there?
Yeah, because they were hoping to have. I don't even know what the Dolphins are or what direction they're going to go. They were hoping to have Tua be the guy, especially when they had Tyreek, Waddle. They traded away Waddle. They still got Devon Achane, fantasy legend. Those are the only ones that I can think of right now that kind of come to mind.
Yeah.
Maybe Minnesota, the Vikings.
Okay.
That's a kind of, hot take, not even hot take. The stupidest thing for them to do was not pay Sam Darnold, by the way.
Yeah. Now they're having a quarterback battle.
Exactly. 9.
Yeah.
9.
I mean, going back to that, now I actually want to ask, because I know you're not a Mendoza believer. You think he might be a bust. And I've said it too. I was talking with Wyman on, again, late night in Lincoln. I was I was always out on JJ McCarthy. I don't know if you remember that, but when the draft came around, I was telling our roommates, Harry and Jake, that's just not a guy that I think is really going to pan out. What made him good in college was simply because he was on a good team and he had a good system around him. And he never really showed flashes of being an NFL superstar quarterback to me. And I wouldn't have wasted a top 10 pick on him like the Vikings did. Yeah, and we saw that, obviously. What do you see from Mendoza that kind of gives you the same, at least, vibe that I had about JJ McCarthy?
It's going to sound kind of lame, but he's not very flashy. He's more like a system quarterback, but I feel like his player comp is like Brock Purdy, maybe even less than Brock Purdy. Speaking of Vikings, there's a guy walking around with the Viking shirt right now. It's kind of crazy.
Wow.
See, we have very many of those.
Maybe he's the 9 believer.
Yeah, maybe he is. But yeah, I just don't like. We've watched his highlights, and there's nothing that kind of scream, oh, NFL quarterback. He's not. He's making the ordinary plays. Like I said, the check downs. He's making his right reads. For me, it's just kind of boring.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think he's a very NFL ready quarterback, but I just see nothing in his game that sticks, at least in the modern NFL.
Yeah.
I just you got to be an athlete and you got to be a guy who can, really sling it. And if you can't sling it, then you better be able to run. And I don't think he can really do either of those.
I think he's not obviously a fast guy by any means, but I feel like he's a tough runner. I think he's a guy that what I like about him isn't really necessarily like what you're saying either, is the arm strength or whatever. I don't think he has a weak arm, especially after yesterday. He has some good passes in the mix and everything, but I don't know. I feel like he's one of those guys that mindset, and again, mindset's not going to make you an NFL quarterback alone, but I think what he's able to at least accomplish mentally, hopefully he's going to help. And I'm not even trying to say that I'm pulling for him because, again, I got no dog in the race here. But I do think that the way his work ethic, I think is something that hopefully is going to help him. Tom Brady's praised it for him. Tom Brady's been working with him over the course of the offseason and such in the mix too. But I don't know. I am skeptical of it because I've said it too. He's not a superstar quarterback. He's not someone that I think he won obviously a national championship, a Heisman, the first ever 16-0 quarterback in college football history. But I just don't think that I don't think that was entirely because of him. And I think that's kind of why I'm big on Kurt Cignetti, their head coach at Indiana. Is like he turned Fernando Mendoza into a Heisman quarterback. Like I think there's some guys who are just Heisman quarterbacks and happen to have one good year where that shows, like Jayden Daniels, for example. Like I don't think he needed LSU to show that. I think he was always elite, and at least at Arizona State he was good. But then it's like you get there to LSU, you have the name, you have the weapons, you figure it out. I just think that like Mendoza's at that point where I can't see him getting much better.
Yeah.
Like is that I think that's my thing. I can't see him developing into anything amazing. Like I think his play style is pretty set. We see so much in downtown Lincoln. Well, obviously we don't got to say what we just saw, but wow.
Yeah, that was
Friday nights in downtown Lincoln. Where would you rather be? Nowhere. Yeah, I just think Mendoza is one of those guys that he's interesting. I think he can figure it out if they build around him there. But we've seen again another cursed franchise that maybe that's not the reason. Yeah. Maybe they just don't know how to build there. But he has the semi weapon.
Who do you have as his player comp?
I don't know. I don't think I have a strict player comp that jumps off the mind because he kind of just fits, like you said, that boring quarterback mold of just doing things right. I think he does things right. Like if he can do things right just to a very safe route, I could see him honestly like in a Sam Darnold type of light. Not saying he's going to lead his team to a Super Bowl, nothing like that either. But like I think they have really similar styles to where they're taller quarterbacks who just kind of sit in that pocket, and if there's a need to get out of there and roll out, they will. But they make the safe passes. Again, I'm not saying he's playing like him or the same skill set, but I think they carry similar attributes, I would say.
Yeah.
That's my take with that.
Yeah.
I know, again, you're not a huge college football fan. You dabble in it. What are some things that you would look for? Again, I know you're a Cam Ward guy, but let's say, like, if someone's looking for Arch Manning, I know you're a Texas fan in the mix as well sometimes.
Super casual, yeah.
Yeah. What are some things at least you would look for a quarterback that maybe are the opposite of Mendoza here? Like, what would you want to see from Mendoza that would show that you would think he's better than where he's at right now?
I mean, I think it just, for me, it's just his play style. It's just boring. Like it's Kirk Cousins, it's the Brock. Like it's nothing about his game really excites me. Like the way he carries himself, at least on the field, like I feel like he doesn't have that swagger to him. Okay. Like, I mean, Sam Darnold's like a silent assassin. Like that dude, I mean, he picks apart defenses. Like I just don't see Mendoza. I don't know. Just everything about him is so boring from a fan perspective, at least. It's just so there's nothing that's like, wow, like what a play from Mendoza. Like he doesn't have like I know I'm going to compare him to Patrick Mahomes in terms of like those crazy, those off script plays. Like,
like he's not an improviser.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't really, he's just, the safe Kirk Cousins check down, safe Brock Purdy. He's going to make that pass. He's not going to turn the ball over. And that's good obviously for conservative purposes with the ball right to protect it, but I don't know, as a fan it's kind of boring, I can't lie.
I agree. I think it's not the flashiest, but I also think like again, I'm not saying he's going to be him or he's going to win a Super Bowl. I don't think Sam Darnold's the flashiest either. I think he's in that mix. I think I'm blanking on the name, Colts quarterback.
Oh, Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones isn't a flashy quarterback. I
think he's been a bum. Daniel Jones.
He had him looking really good last year.
Yeah, until
he got hurt. Until he got hurt, they were a top team in the NFL.
Their schedule was so easy and then when they started playing tougher teams, that's when they fell flat on their face.
I think they were fine until he got hurt. You got a top running back in the league. Your quarterback was at least hitting the right guys. Adonai Mitchell. I was talking about him earlier because one of our guys here is a Colts fan.
Oh gosh,
I know. Sorry, Colts Austin fan. Norman, but yeah,
that's brutal.
He brought up Adonai Mitchell, and then I mentioned how Texas is probably not the best place to get your wide receivers nowadays because even you think about it, Isaiah Bond, he had his mess. Matthew Golden hasn't done anything for those Packers.
AD Mitchell,
and then I'm blanking. There's one more that's
Jordan Whittington,
Xavier Worthy
hasn't
done much.
Yeah, maybe.
Get your running backs. That's what we need.
I don't need, if that really. It's only
Bijan
outside of Bijan,
Roscoe Johnson.
I was gonna say, I think
Jonathan Brooks. Has he ever got that healed?
Jonathan Brooks, I think he's gonna make his first professional appearance.
I believe it. He's been hurt.
He tore his ACL. I think he's going on his third year and he hasn't played it down yet.
I'll figure it out.
So I think he's healthy now.
Hollywood Smothers, new transfer portal.
Even.
Anyways, before we wrap things up, because then the next segment will be the boat bomb. We'll just wrap up the show from there. What are some things that fans, yourself included, whatever it may be, when looking at the next 2 or 3 preseason games here, Obviously, football's right around the corner. Real football's right around the corner. What are some things you're taking, and not even just from the Titans, but just football as a whole right now that you're excited for? What are some? Well, give me like 3 key points right now that you're excited for going into the season, just as football rolls around in general.
Fantasy football, one. I just think whenever football, we talked about this yesterday out on the porch. I personally think that the fall is the best time of the year. Easily, it's playoff baseball. You have college football, NFL, NBA picks back up again. It's just it's truly one of one. The vibes are kind of they're there. Christmas, Thanksgiving, like it's just beautiful. So the vibes around that, fantasy football, and just being able to chill on Sundays and just watch nothing but Red Zone for 7 hours.
Yeah,
I can't wait to do that.
And who is your way too early Super Bowl projection winner?
My fantasy is the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
My real one, I could either see the Rams. I think the Rams are going to be really good this year, especially with the addition of potential addition of Aaron Donald, and then with the addition of Myles Garrett, and then Trent McDuffie. But I know Pat's coming back, but I don't see him winning it. I could see the Seahawks winning it again. I think it's somebody from the I'm blanking on the 2 conferences.
AFC, NFC?
Yeah, I get, but
which one?
Yeah, but what is the name? I guess just I'll say NFC. I'm not sure what it stands for, but I think it's gonna be an NFC team that comes out on top, though.
That's fair. I'm biased. I'm throwing my fantasy Packers in there, but yeah, I mean, I think we're at a good point now in like the NFL again, where it was the Chiefs dynasty for a little bit. Yep. Now you're entering that realm where I'm going to say it, baseball and football have kind of flipped, where it's like you kind of expect who you're going to expect in baseball, and football is more of a toss-up now. Like if you would have told me at the beginning of the year the Seahawks would have won a Super Bowl and they'd be playing the Patriots for it, I would have been like, are you sure?
Yeah.
But I like it though. It's fun. Maybe we see Shador in the Super Bowl. Who knows? But with that being said, we'll be wrapping up our second to last segment here on Real Talk. Again, he's Duncan. I'm Rudy. When we get back, we got our boat bomb of the day, our first female boat bomb of the day, actually. So that'll be a good one. Make sure to keep it tuned right here, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hi, Kendall Warnock here, owner of A1 Automotive in Seward. We're more than just an automotive repair shop. We're part of this community. Our mission is simple: serve people well, build trust, and provide reliable vehicle repairs at a fair price. From oil changes to diagnostics, major repairs, we're here to help keep your family safe on the road. A1 Automotive, 408 Main Street, Seward, Nebraska.
Building a new home can be a challenge, a lot of big choices. With our Remington homes, we have designed 15 different floor plans that appeal to a wide range of people.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, painted trim, wood floors, more stone, all options with our Remington homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. You're able to get what you really want in a home for a great price with very limited stress. And that's what Remington homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Hey everyone, this is Austin Norman from Old School with Foreman and Orman, live from 1040 O Street in the heart of downtown Lincoln. My favorite thing about downtown Lincoln has to be the year-round energy. Downtown Lincoln never stops. It's easy to get to, has everything you could need or want in dining, entertainment, and retail, and of course it has Lincoln's best sports talk, proudly located in downtown Lincoln on the corner of 11th and O.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, take the worm, put it on the hook. Now bring your pole back and throw it forward. And just let the fish come to you.
I got a bite! I got a bite! It's a big one, Dad!
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs, quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside's margaritas and old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils. Hot, bold, and made to share. Or enjoy classic Chinese and Asian dishes, perfect for lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
At Schwezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Build with us. Work safe, go home proud. We're hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back, on and off the job site. If you're ready to be part of a company where your safety and success come first, visit Schwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com and apply today. Schwezo Construction, 40 years strong and still building the future.
Staying healthy and comfortable starts with the air you breathe. If you're noticing more dust, odors, or allergies, it could be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Pure Air starts with cleaner air ducts, pair with enhanced filtration and purifications options, and the difference is amazing. When the air you breathe is clean and fresh, your home smells fresher and your family is healthier. Time for cleaner air in your home? Call Bryant for a free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SartorHeyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Reality is setting in. Now back to Real Talk with Rudy Gres IV on 93.7 The Ticket.
That is right. Welcome back. Final segment here on Real Talk with Rudy Gres IV. Live here at 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. A lot of people walking downtown Lincoln right now. Good times. I mean, it's always fun whenever we get people to walk by the window here because I've jokingly said it. I feel like we're like zoo animals sometimes, but hey, who doesn't love the zoo? Duncan, before I get to my boat bomb here, anything you want to say, any shout outs you got, anything you want to get? Because I'll hit the boat bomb and then we'll get out of here.
They're hitting the scuba. What?
All right. Anything you want to get out of here?
Sorry, what was the question?
Anything you want to, any shout outs, anything you want to just last final comments because I'll hit the boat bomb and then we'll get out of here.
Shout out my girlfriend Jayden again. Shout out my parents. Shout out PCA for MVP. Shout out Cam Ward for Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP.
Wow.
Shout out Wembanyama, the future.
Wemby,
Nope. And go Cubs, go Titans, go Spurs. Yeah.
Wow.
That's all I got.
Huge mix there for Duncan.
Yep.
Well, Duncan, thank you for joining. Obviously, it was a fun time. We needed some. You're the first guest I've had on my show in a while. I'm not gonna lie. I've been doing these 3-hour, 2-hour shows alone, and I actually enjoy it. So it's always fun though. But it's cool. And yeah, of course, it was awesome. All right. With that being said, time for your Friday night boat bomb. After this. Your Friday night boat bomb comes to us from Miss Lauryn Hill herself on a song titled Doo-Wop, in parenthesis, That Thing. The lyric I want to steal from this is how you're going to win when you ain't right within. And Lauryn Hill is a very spiritual person, as you'll get from as you listen to her music, as you go on and on. But I've always liked that lyric because it's not just a spiritual thing, not just a religious thing, if that's how you interpret it. For me, it's always just an inner peace thing. It's always just something within myself, whether that was baseball and having to deal with the injuries or just slumps of it all. I always thought, like, how am I really going to get out of this if my mindset's not in the right spot, if I'm not in the right spot? For me, it was just understanding that for one thing to go right, there's probably 10 things behind the scene that have to go right with it. And again, it's a great song. It's Lauryn Hill, one of the greatest artists of our generation. But it's so much easier for people to just harp on the results and the negatives that happen. And, oh, well, I'm 0 for 4 today, or, oh, I'm having a bad day, that my relationship's going this way. But at the end of the day, there's 20 things that could have gone right before that I failed to check. I had in my hands, and I could have checked those. I could have made sure my swing was right. I could have taken some extra BP. I could have communicated, whatever the case may be. There's always something that could prevent you from winning. As she says here, how are you going to win if you're not right within? And I think that's something that hasn't just applied to baseball, but obviously my life and just things in general, whether that's work, whether that's school back in the day, don't got to deal with that anymore. But there's a ton of things that, again, if you're not right within, you're not going to win the game. And I think it's a testament to obviously everything I've been through, everything that has kind of shaped me in one way or another. And again, that's Doo-Wop by Miss Lauryn Hill, one of my favorite artists. Just, again, great time listening to her music. If you have a chance, go check it out. She's great. Free sponsor there for Miss Lauryn Hill, as I'd always do. With that being said, another great 3 hours here on Real Talk to end our Friday night of shows. After this, we'll be tuning back in to the Royals game. That will be on your brick and mortar and all the above. Huge thank you to Duncan again. Huge thank you to all the Lincoln people stopping by and waving through that window, hitting the scuba, whatever it was. Huge thank you to everybody. Thank you for listening. This was Real Talk again. We talk all things sports. I'll be live again Sunday, 4 to 5 p.m. Make sure to tune in. This was Real Talk with Rudy Gres the 4th, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.